Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Rocket League tournament supported by Nation's Finest. This is the Level Up Veterans Cup. We're going to be out here doing some great work, seeing some fantastic Rocket League action, and of course, supporting our nation's veterans. My name is Caleb, and I have my co-host Austin here, ready to give us some fantastic support as well. Austin, are you hyped for what we have ahead of us?
Man, I am so excited, Caleb. I'm definitely excited to be standing next to you, man. It's been so awesome to get to meet you, and I'm also excited to have this event sponsored by Nation's Finest and the Level Up Veterans Cup, man. They have an exciting lineup for us today. We're talking about 4 power hours of Rocket League with some really exciting teams that are trying to get themselves some nice gift card cash prizes, correct, man?
Absolutely, and it's a good amount of money, too. We have some great funds on display here, and of course, it is, as per always, supporting a great organization doing some really important work. So please do support. If at any point the mood strikes you, your heart feels compelled, or you got a break of the action, go ahead and hit up nationsfinest.kindness.com. See how you can support by donating, by volunteering. There are so many ways you can help out.
Even at nationsfinest.org, you can find them. So you have 2 awesome, easy ways to find them. Like you said, nationsfinest.kindness.com and then nationsfinest.org. So we're looking forward to seeing how much support we can get back to Nation's Finest tonight for them having put on this amazing event and all the fun that we're going to be getting out of these games, as well as just looking forward to all the fun that we're going to be sharing with you all that are sharing the time with us at home. So just be tuned in. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff coming, as well as, like you said, those prizes. What's that even looking like? Do you know what the top prizes are?
I've got some inclination, some hints. I hear, ears to the ground, picking up the rumors that our first place prize is going to be walking away with $450 in gift cards.
In gift card prizes,
that is a clean pickup, and that's not the end of it either. We have some pretty good money on second and third as well, as we're going to be getting into in just a second.
Yes, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for Nation's Finest just to see how they've been impacting over 7,000 communities currently, and then they're still continuing to reach out to more since they've been active since 1972. So we're going to be getting into the format of our show today. We're going to be starting off, I believe, with our friends Regiment and EXO the boys, but it's just a simple double elimination bracket. All matches are going to be a best of 3, and with the best of 5 in the winners and losers semifinals and finals brackets.
It's going to be a wild run of things where we're going to be getting to see some of these top-tier teams going head-to-head. It's going to be great to see in action. I've already gotten a peek, like you mentioned. We know who's going to be up first. We've gotten a sense of what some of the other teams are looking like. I'm pretty excited for it. We've had some really great Rocket League events here, and this is going to be absolutely something special, just based on I can feel the energy in the room.
Right, and I can feel the energy in this prize pool like we mentioned earlier. Our top prize is taking away something special. It's all gift card prizes today because these are donations that were given to Nation's Finest. These are being given back to the community. First place, like you said, $450 prize. Second place taking home $225.
Very nice, very nice. And third is going to be coming in with $75. Not bad at all for showing up and displaying some incredible Rocket League talent. Again, it's Rocket League. I would show up just to play. I'm just happy to be involved in the game because it is wild, but maybe with $75 is not bad either. Certainly $450 is, this is a very generous prize pool.
Yeah, you're definitely not scoffing at any of those amounts to come in, be passionate, and enjoy what you do, and get to do it hopefully next to some guys, some gals that you're really enjoying playing the game with. And there we got some teams lined up. Like I said, we will have our friends EXO, the boys, and Regiment starting off, but before that, we have our friends Brigade, as well as Escape Velocity.
Absolutely fantastic lineup of the pack, but we also have a couple of other fantastic names to take a look at. Lakeland University Esports, feeling very official, very up top, and right alongside them, the Californians.
And then we have Regiment Team B. Regiment's Team B, I guess that must be their scrim team. So let's see if they can do some type of upset. What if they get into the final bracket and then they're watching their friends in the loser bracket? That'd be definitely interesting. And then we have Short Circuit Gaming as well.
Speaking of Regiment, bringing it back around again, Regiment A team.
Man, we got so many regiments out here. That's definitely the nation's finest.
Yeah, so wild to see that Mr. T has come to help out support. Really appreciate that. But we also have here the team name that speaks to me very personally. We Try Our Best, which is me in gaming and life. And
hey, it's commendable, Caleb. I can see it in that smile. You're trying your best, bro. You're trying and you're winning, bro. Following up that, we have our friends Small. We'll leave it at that. Small. They're leaving it at that. We'll leave it at that. And then our friends Reno Rollers.
And wrap it up, of course, with the League of Extraordinary Sirs. About to go through some extraordinary gameplay, no doubt, on this extraordinary occasion just in general. This is going to be wild and crazy. I am so hyped for this. And again, before we get into it, I do want to mention again just how much great work Nation's Finest is doing for our nation's veterans. They are supporting not only housing for veterans and their families. We were talking about employment assistance, help with substance abuse, just about everything we could hope for.
Right, absolutely. We're so thankful for them reaching out to veterans, helping them transition, and really keeping that mental health as a pinnacle, as well as the emotional health as a pinnacle of how they're helping people transition from that war mindset, from that, where they're at, into the civilian life and into a place of peace here. So we're going to see Lakeland University Esports into the Californians first. So that's going to be an exciting match that we're looking up getting into. What do you think of, but just based off the names, where are you going off of the initial impressions? What are you seeing?
I'm feeling like Lakeland University Esports. That is a very official name. These people are going to be all business, and that gives you a little bit of concern because, it's, again, when somebody comes in with a name that is very plain, that means the gameplay speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That being said, the Californians, it's got style to it. It's got angle, and that's where that passion comes from. That's where that creative mindset that, like, I need something that embodies me comes through on a team naming convention.
I like that.
And it's Cali. There's an incredible gaming scene in Cali. There's an incredible gaming scene here as well. But do not sleep on California.
And here we go, right into the game. Looks like we're jumping right into match one, and our friend MNN Mouse is jumping off with the score, man. Oh my, man, I'm happy to see us jumping straight into action. Man, and the orange team, absolutely beautiful tilting on that aerial movement, man. I'm happy to see some nice movement already right as we jump into the game. Let's see what we get with the first touch, see what we're looking at. Nice.
Pop up there. Lakeland University off to a fantastic start here.
The Californians, man, like you said, they got that style. I want to see them cruising. I want to see that I-5 to Sunset Boulevard vibe. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them do something really smooth with that movement and hit somebody with something that they're not expecting.
We're looking to see a little bit of California love in the building here. A mid-air block, beautiful play there. Fantastic control. Not quite open enough there for a clean shot, so we are rotating back out to midfield here.
Yeah, Whiff City definitely taking the best proactive route on that. You don't want to give him space to get an option on that hit where he wants to take the ball. So he met him right there in the zone, contesting it, and now we're back, hopefully approaching, looks like Lakeland University side.
So we once again rotating atop the goal there. Not in shot range, not quite at the angle we need here.
And we're still advancing with a nice backboard pass up, but it's getting cleared out there by the Californians.
A lot of circling, hovering at that mid-range yet again, meaning that the attempt at the goal could be imminent here. Seeing the big shot there, all the way across the court.
Shot.
Beautiful hit there.
Yaskov, beautiful. He found that angle from, honestly, look at that, straight midfield, finding a really beautiful shot. And then we got our man trying to get it, just got the tip, not enough pull up on that. But hey, I'd love to see a one-to-one game. Let's see how they test this neutral zone in the middle, man.
Certainly opening up your first shot with a beyond half-court hitter, inspire some confidence here. So we're seeing a little bit of that style again from the Californians here already. And is that another one that is not quite on target? He's going to guide it in, not quite there.
Oh, man, and there it is. It's finally getting cleared out. Get to alleviate some of that pressure. I know Yaskov is feeling on top of the world off that last shot, but I don't think they're going to let something slide so easy. Something just get past that midfield that smooth like the Californians like to glide it. So let's see what Lakeland can pull out to counteract that last rebuttal that they got. They started out definitely with a really quick shot, so I'd like to see them replicate some of that success, that whatever they got right before we were able to jump into the game.
Recapture that energy. Could happen very soon here. We do have 3 minutes and a second on the clock here, so there's plenty of time for some excellent work to be done. Interesting, the sort of balance we're striking here with those shots coming in very, very early, and now we've reached a little bit of a neutral space. The Californians turned up the heat a little bit, fired back, and now they're doing an excellent job maintaining the defense here.
Yeah, definitely enjoying this pace. They're feeling each other out better. They're getting better setups. Hopefully we can see something really nice matriculate from this gameplay. We got to just go in through the neutral zones, just been getting a lot of boost, powered up hopefully on our strikers. Hopefully they're looking to get some movement on the advancing on that Lakeland University side. Right now the Californians been on the defense for quite a while, trying to get it out of this zone. And there's a pretty important destruction right in the face of the goal, but man, perfect. Whiff City's really been on it today.
Absolutely solid plays here thus far. Now we're racing towards Lakeland's goal there. Not quite on target. Plenty of people ready to defend. Californians, however, looking a little bit open, but that's not going to be a good angle for a shot to be made here. Bouncing back, though, a little bit off, unfortunately. Like I said, the angle there wasn't absolutely picture perfect. Could have been something there, but again, we are seeing everybody being on point when it comes to these rotations.
Yeah, I can see it, man.
Teamwork is excellent on everybody out here.
And don't get me wrong, it's a long day. You don't want to be using all your best juice at the top of the day, man. So definitely you can see how they're getting their feel of what the competition will be feeling like. They're getting their shots in when they can, but Whiff City again with the save. This man, you got to destroy him out the goal if you're trying to get a shot in, because he's not looking to get anything past him.
Not at all. We are seeing some very, very solid fundamentals here. You can really tell that these are tried and tested and frequently bested kinds of teams that absolutely have the skill set that is sort of honed in from those hours and hours and hours of practice on, again, not just the flashy jump up shots, but your rotations, your defense, your monitoring of the field, and the teamwork. So important. As someone that has had less than cooperative members online on occasion in matchmaking.
Hey man, competitive gaming online and cooperative teammates. I don't know if those are the most synonymous of duos, my friend, but you know, we definitely try. I know Rocket League, people are trying to win. I know anytime that I'm doing something crazy, I'm getting spam chatted, I'm getting nice shotted if I nice shotted, if my pass was great, it's great pass. So I know these guys are all working to win. Let's just hope that they're working better than the other team. And there we go with and Mouse scooping that off the ceiling, man, and getting that beautiful pass from the friend. Soren looked like off the ceiling, man. Beautiful angle.
Absolutely spectacular, and that is another point for Lakeland University. Now just 40 seconds left on the clock. We've gone a long stretch of time without a point being scored. That makes one wonder, is this going to be enough time for the Californians to strike back, hit us up with another shot, and bring us into overtime, which is going to be necessary at this point, because with the amount of time it takes to break through anybody's defense here, 30 seconds is not a lot of time.
And a Rocket League overtime can be a stretcher, man. You can definitely get some mental fatigue from trying to itch out a win when I know it is a double elimination, but sometimes you can play better from that back foot, letting off the gas, you know what I'm saying? Preserving some of that energy. But there we go, them definitely solidifying a huge lead. Edmund and Malice, he's been finding some really beautiful angles. I'm definitely impressed to see this guy.
Beautiful.
Definitely the follow through too. There was no answer in sight for that. So definitely beautiful work from MMN and Mouse as well as Soren. I've been definitely impressed to see those two. So I can see them going far in this tournament.
Absolutely. With things looking as great as they are, and with Lakeland University absolutely cementing their victory here, you can already see great things either end of things. But like I said, Lakeland University is showing off some textbook plays here that I really feel like are going to help them go the distance. Those are the kind of things you can rely on, not just in, again, the big flashy moments where you're going for those long distance shots, where you're blowing things out minute one, but also when you're just trying to make sure that every possession, every step for your opponents is a little bit more difficult because you are airtight.
They were in those neutral zones, making sure that everything was cleared out. They had the Californians on the back foot for quite a while, sitting in their blue zone, not really having direction, doing a great job at just keeping their pace of the game. And you see how they solidified those last two shots at the end. But don't get me wrong, the Californians showed great heart out there, man. They were getting outpaced definitely in the movement, but you can see how they get some nice shots. They definitely have good angles and great minds for the game. So I'm looking forward to see how the rest of their run comes in here out here in the Legends Cup.
Let's get right back into it then and see how things go. We're going back at it. Might be able to see a resurgence here, but the Californians, at the very least, we're going to be able to see plenty more of the talent on display for both of these teams. We really get a good sense in our heads. So far, how are you feeling about how is the tournament energy in comparison to how you were feeling about it initially? I know we gave some of our early game expectations based on the names, based on the energy in the room. Has that changed for you any?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely from the first two teams, I'm seeing the themes that we talked about earlier, man. We're seeing that methodical textbook gameplay coming from the university esports. Definitely see them treating this like an assignment, taking down X, Y, Z. They have their win conditions, they're visible. And then I see the Californians rolling with style, definitely trying to find some little off-kilter moments like this, where we have Arfman finding a super simple goal, breaking out of that nice little jumble up that they had at their goal.
walks it up, walks it through, no problem. When you are that clear, no reason not to make sure that you have a secure possession brought ahead. And that's the Californians starting things off this time. Will we see a flipped script compared to our first match?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting off with a nice early goal from the Californians. I'd like to see them continue this pace. I'd like to see them definitely bring more pressure, maybe bring it to a 2-0 lead to really stretch that timer for the Lakeland University esports. But I know that we have some definitely keen eyes looking for some nice angles on that blue side goal from the Lakeland University esports. So I'm looking for a rebuttal, man. It's nice to see the pace on the other foot already so soon. We have two conflicting play styles here, and I'm excited to see how they play out.
Absolutely phenomenal air control here. A lot of mid-air work that is going through well, but again, everybody is holding their range very well. We're seeing a lot of that circulation around neutral territory, a lot of shots being made, but they are being expertly defended so far. The constant threat is an excellent note here too. You're talking about mental fatigue. It's not like we're seeing them just hover defense and not go for shots. The shots are being gone for constantly, and every one has been strategically and well skillfully defended against. And that means that they are constantly putting in the work to have those angles cranking out all the time. That wears on you as someone that can absolutely get overwhelmed playing this game at times.
Definitely. Especially I see the Lakeland University esports going a lot more on the offensive. You saw that backfield was left completely open. They had 3 people attacking that goal really deep. So it's going to be, you know, kind of an all or nothing vibe from them right now. I like how they're going to the wall on this first matchup. I'd like to see if they can do a bit more of that mid-range style though, where they're not going so deep. We almost saw another breakaway there just a few moments ago. So they're committing to their style. I want to see what else they can do, what other tools they have. Maybe even a bit more aerial work. I see a lot of aerial work that could be angles that are kind of left open. A lot of groundwork. And here we go. Freya's off in the ceiling, looking for something nice. We got MN Mouse.
Ooh.
Oh man. I'm not sure where he was at. It looked like he did not have any boost on it, unfortunately. Man, that was a beautiful angle for a nice striker shot. But here we go with the Californians, finding themselves a shot, but Freya Hayes with a beautiful save.
Coming in absolutely clutch and trying to go for it there, but getting deflected once again. We are coming back over Lakeland side of things. There's a jump and attempt at a hit there, but once again, there's somebody in perfect position all the time. This is something that you see lacking in a lot of early Rocket League play.
Right.
Is not having somebody in a position because your rotations are off. Once again, everybody is in perfect harmony right now, like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing these two teams rotate through their lineups, getting different players positioned in the most advantageous spot. But I need to see it go into something now. We've seen a lot of great movement. We've seen a lot of great passes. And MN Mouse.
Asking you shall receive, my guy.
I guess there's to be a caster's curse, but in this case, we got a caster's blessing. MN Mouse, look at that beautiful aerial maneuver. Oh my gosh.
The gentlest touch.
So simple, so clean, and we know how difficult that can be.
Mm-hmm. It's so hard to have that level of accurate control where you're not only doing advanced trigonometry in your head trying to map out the angle of your shots, but also having the manual control to make sure that you input the exact number that you have managed to calculate in real time.
In the heat of the moment too, because they were looking at a 1-0 defeat if they let 1 minute and 30 seconds pass, but now the shoe is on the other foot. They've had a 1 minute, 25 seconds on the clock so far, so it's been 1-1, and now we have 1 minute remaining. Looks like we've got them moving still with that momentum in the blue side. They're still getting some types of shots off. They're not necessarily shots, I'd say, though. Definitely just hopeful pushes towards that general direction.
Mm-hmm. Trying to line things up for hopefully striking to rotate around and try to actually knock it in.
Yeah. Oh my
Something
gosh.
like that, but
wow.
once again, well-timed, well-positioned defender, able to make sure nothing comes of that.
Yes, man, really came through clutch with that save. That would have been a very, very beautiful way to clinch the game, or at least clinch the game-winning energy. But unfortunately, that wasn't
undefended. Undefended.
Soren with the pass from MN Mouse. Disgusting. Look at this angle that he takes off the wall. A perfect pass, right off the bounce. Soren picks it up and just drops it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That was so beautiful. Textbook. Like you said, man.
Spectacular.
I'm asking you about every team coming up, man. You got some great intuition, bro.
So my third eye is wide open. Unfortunately, the goals are not, which means the Californians might be in a bit of a crunch here. They've got now just a few seconds left to make a goal immediately and bring this to overtime. But it's not looking likely.
Nothing longer than the last second of a Rocket League game, but right now it looks like
hits the ground. Doesn't even have time to try and keep it afloat, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely.
That is going to be, once again.
Yeah, they took that series. That is them on the series. The best of three, cleaned up really nice. I loved that last offensive maneuver from our friends. That pass off the wall from Enon and Mouse. Delicious execution from Soren. I'm excited to see what they get as the energy inside of the tournament heats up, man.
Same, absolutely. This has been wild already. It's always good when you start off with things being crazy.
A banger,
and it's like this is only gonna get more than this as we go on. Geez. So again, I hope you all are in it for the long haul because it's absolutely going to be a wild one. And again, thank you to Nation's Finest for supporting veterans everywhere. And I hope you will join them in doing exactly the same thing. When we have little moments like these, once again, please consider donating, volunteering, anything you can do to help out, as Nation's Finest is helping out our nation's veterans with, again, housing support, employment assistance, substance abuse, mental health care, anything that they need. You can do that going on ahead to, again, nationsfinest.kindness.com
exactly.
or nationsfinest.org.
Yes, and you can find out so much more about what they're doing right now in over 7,000 communities and what they're going to continue to do for the thousands of communities that need their help. So we're definitely thankful for Nation's Finest. We're thankful for the Legends Cup, and we're super excited to see what's going to be coming up next.
Thank you to them, and thank you to our nation's veterans again for your service as well. And thank you to all of you watching for helping us support the stream, and seeing this all go through is going to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, man. And how do you feel about what we could get from that last match, man? What do you see coming forward in the tournament with that level of play that we've seen so far?
I definitely think this is going to be a masterclass in Rocket League. This is going to be one of those games that is absolutely excellent for people at home to be studying. If you are into Rocket League, if you're looking to level up your own game, if you are looking to judgmentally cast glances at your teammates and ask, why can't you be like that? Then this is a great example.
Why can't you be Emin and Mouse?
Why can't you be? If you were Mouse, we would be great.
Let's get some highlights, man, of what we got to see inside of that game. I definitely would love to see what we had going on. It looks like we got that first clip, some beautiful pass and score from Yaskov. I remember he yanked that straight from the jaws of the feet. Beautiful redirection on that.
Excellent work has been done all across the game, but Emma and Mouse really stole the show here, being so instrumental, so many points. But again, do not sleep on the teamwork for Lakeland University Esports overall. They've got themselves a dedicated strikers clearly, but they have work on that defense that has been absolutely ironclad. Everyone on this team was perfectly in sync. Right, and you can't forget Arfman getting that breakaway goal inside of that beautiful breakup that they had at their own goal. And then we had Whiff City. Don't forget Whiff City was doing amazing goal work. But Emin and Mouse, like we said, every single goal had an assist. Every single goal had passes that were coming in from other places on the field. So it's, like you said, it's a well-oiled machine. It's teamwork, and that's the teamwork that's going to get them far in this tournament for sure. We see it there. Just like the teamwork that Nation's Finest is bringing to communities as they continue to help people with both their housing needs and all that mental health needs that's so much necessary, so much more necessary as this year is going on and life is going on. We're seeing the positive impacts that really taking care of your mental health is doing for communities, man, and I thank Nation's Finest for making that a forefront of their approach. Don't forget to visit them at nationsfinest.org tonight at some point to help in future projects that they have going on. Absolutely, please do. Again, they need the support, the donations. You can volunteer and be out there doing fantastic work as well. Please do so. After all, they have this very, very generous event to draw support. They are getting, again, $450, that first place prize money in gift cards. It is going to be crazy for somebody, and you can be that instrumental for somebody else by volunteering, by chipping in just a little bit of your money. That really, really adds up. And of course, promote this to others you think might be willing and able to help. Anybody, you can help broadcast this just like Nation's Finest is helping us broadcast it to you. Be a part of the chain, be part of the support network for our veterans who have done so much for all of us. And I mean, hey, we're singing your praises just as well as we are singing the praises of these fantastic competitors out here on stage.
Absolutely, man. And we're actually going to be thankful, lucky enough to get to see a video from them and the work that they're doing in communities right now. So here's a video from our friends at Nation's Finest.
Hi, this is Alfred Molina on behalf of Nation's Finest. Nation's Finest is a nonprofit that's been dedicated to helping military veterans since 1972, when a group of returning Vietnam veterans created an organization to help fellow veterans and their families. They understood the unique set of challenges veterans face when returning home. Because to a veteran, home isn't just a place, it's an idea, a feeling. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in 14 communities in California, Arizona, and Nevada, where every year we help thousands of veterans build happy, healthy, and purposeful lives. And we're expanding to keep pace with the ever-evolving needs of the veteran community. To learn how you can help us support veterans in need of housing, case management, mental health counseling, employment services, and more, visit nationsfinest.org or call 833-GOT-YOUR-6. That's 833-468-9676.
And welcome back. It is time for us to return to the Rocket League action, returning to the Veterans Cup. We have even more gameplay ahead of us, and we have already seen such great things that you know it is going to be wild and crazy. I am, of course, once again, Caleb, my co-host Austin, is just as excited as I am. It is really already starting off on such a great foot. I'm not sure what's going to be the follow-up acts to our beginning, but it's gonna be wild, I know that much.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting myself to be yelling some "This is Rocket League" by the end of this experience, man. This is gonna be a really textbook example of some masterclass Rocket League, like you had mentioned earlier. We had a great example from the Californians and Lakeland University Esports brought to us earlier in the broadcast, but we're definitely looking forward to what could be coming next. I definitely would like to see a lot more of a banger, some more scoring perhaps, you know, something really exciting, explosive to come out of the gates with. We definitely got that in the last game, but I'm not mad at upping up the ante, you know what I'm saying?
A little bit more wild and crazy. So we've gotten our technical, we've gotten our, you know, our ABCs of Rocket League. We're looking for somebody to come swinging with the haymakers.
Definitely.
We're looking, and we're definitely gonna get it. Already we can see that our friend MN Mouse is a big fan of going for some ambitious striking, and I can't imagine that we are gonna see anything less than more of that when really they are pressed. We really have more of a draining kind of a game later on. But we've got other competitors, and who knows what they're going to be coming through with.
Right, we have we have Reno Rollers coming up. I think they're going to be challenging our friends at Lakeland University. So Reno Rollers is going to be Nation's Finest team, actually. This is going to be the team that's sponsoring this tournament. So I'd love to see how they're going to fare up against our friends at Lakeland, who we know are aggressive, who we know can capitalize on some really small errors in positioning. So I'm really going to be looking forward to seeing how they give their own punches back in that situation. Nation's Finest, you know, they're already known for bringing some great tournaments to the stage. Let's see some great tournament play now.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you to Nation's Finest for helping support our nation's veterans. Over 7,000 veterans and their families as well helped out. That's another very important component, making sure that the people around you are taken care of and supported while you are being taken care of and supported. It's a fantastic organization to be sponsoring things, and clearly they got fantastic taste in esports teams as well.
Right, they recognize that gaming is such an important and integral way for these veterans to stay connected, no matter the distance. They really recognize that and promote it, obviously, as they have their own team that they're bringing and fronting on the field. So I'm excited to see what they've brought together. Hopefully some military-like plays in the back of their pockets, man. I want to see some covert stuff.
We've definitely been seeing some military precision in a lot of these gameplays already.
Definitely.
And that, again, that's going to be an interesting component of having Lakeland University back already, is that they're going to be able to serve as a very excellent baseline, because like we talked about, those fundamentals are solid. The rotation, the defense, the striking, the coordination, the teamwork. Clearly they are communicating and working together in synergy.
Right.
Well, when one of them shifts strategies, the whole team shifts to reflect it. They all know what to look for. They all know how to talk to each other and keep things moving. Ergo, you are not going to be able to surpass that baseline unless you are just as rock solid, or you have some kind of core specialty that is able to give you a big advantage.
And at this point, they're warm. They've shaken off first game jitters. They have a win, you know, so they get to play with a bit less timid energy. They get to really come out and know that they've already showed what they have. And at this point, it's just about living in that space which they've created. So I'm excited to see how they capitalize on already being on that momentum of winning. It's gonna be very important in this tournament. It's gonna be quick games. We're getting to a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket by the end of the night, and I'd love to see teams that deserve it and have great synergy like we've seen from them make it to the end. It'd be great to see.
It's going to be a great game. We have so many more ahead as well that you know that we are in this again for the long haul, so please support us. Keep an eye out on everything that is going through, and keep an eye on those links you can be following.
Absolutely.
To do some work with Nation's Finest to help support these veterans. Again, you're going to want to go to nationsfinest.kindful.com or nationsfinest.org to find ways you can donate, volunteer, support causes like these, and thus support our nation's veterans while watching some folks head towards that $450 gift card first place prize.
Yes, and we're right into it, like we said, with Reno Rollers and Lakeland University Esports. And it looks like Reno Rollers are starting out with a delicious shot. That was spicy, man.
Ooh, they're hunting for it.
Like I said, man, they got the caster feed, man. I said I need to see some bangerangs. And here we go. We got people flying off the walls. We got people looking for shots.
Oh, God.
They're fishing. And Freya Hayes with the pass from Soren, just Lakeland University.
Lakeland heard us gassing up Reno Rollers and said, all right, step up. Come on,
man.
Let's see what you got.
Let me show you how I do things over here in Lakeland. Man. So I love to see it, man. Like I said, I wanted some quick energy, and we're right into it. We've got a great shot from Reno Rollers. We've got 2 shots from Lakeland. That one was deliciously falling into the goal, so I'm happy to see that, man. But other than that, we're back into a neutral zone. Looks like Lakeland's getting control, but it's getting contested off into the Reno Rollers side.
We are circling here. Destruction passing by, and that leaves him undefended. Is it going to be enough? It's a little bit too high. Right up the top of the goal there, unfortunately. We are back to neutral territory, but again, the energy here is fierce. This is an aggressive game, you can tell already.
Yes, I'm loving they're swinging for the hedges. The minutes are going by slow, and that means we're getting a lot of action with every second that's passing. So I'm loving to see the aerial play. I'm loving to see the ball bouncing. I want to see somebody do something crazy off the wall. I want to see something like a shot like that just slides by the eye. So often in games we find ourselves looking forward. We're looking already with like we have the ball, but that's the perfect time where somebody's able to misdirect, really get some nice little angles when they're looking at what's present.
Yeah, keeping track of everything going on at once. It requires a lot of sensory experience and experiencing another goal as we speak, as I'm about to go off into the technical aspect of things. Another clean shot being landed by Lakeland there. Once again, perfectly on rotation means that you're always ready for an opportunity, whether it's an opportunity to defend or an opportunity to go in for a shot like that.
Right, and it's like Freya heard us talking too much about Soren and Emin and Mouse last game, because we got Freya over here on the highlight reel already hitting 2 goals, 1 more goal away from that hat trick that Emin and Mouse was able to secure the first game. So I'm loving the use of the boost. Nobody's being wasteful. Just got a lot of patient gameplay. I can see people taking their positions and really looking for where they want to attack from the Lakeland University Esports side. But for the Reno Rollers, what do you think is their best approach moving forward to try to break up this momentum we're seeing?
It's still pretty early on. We got 3 full minutes left on the clock, but I would imagine step 1 is going to be put a stop to Freya.
Right.
It appears to be do something about Freya. Please stop Freya.
3 minutes to go, 3 full minutes in 3 full goals inside of Lakeland's University Esports goals counter. And we have Freya on a hack trick now, so if I had one, I'd throw it. Shout out to Freya. Oh, Ridgewalker.
Reno Rollers popping off immediately, said Oak. I was just about to say, man, Reno Rollers needs 3 goals in 3 minutes, and they said, huh? What'd you say?
We got that.
I couldn't hear you.
I can get that.
How many
3 seconds? 3 seconds, he said, I got you. I'll do you one better, coach.
So clearly dissuading, and everyone was worried the Reno Rollers were going to be able to have the offensive power to fire back in short. Or are you about to do it again? Ooh, oh God, that was close.
Ooh, that's what I love to see. And
they're at it again. They're at it again, Austin.
Yeah, they're loving this momentum. I can see they're really finding some moments now. They're really feeling the vibe of the tournament. Maybe definitely getting used to the equipment and the vibe that they're in, because that is the kind of acrobatics you want to see your main striker going through the air with towards the enemy goal. I love it.
Absolutely.
But we can't discredit that save from Dan. That was definitely beautiful. And then we have some destructive gameplay going on as Emin and Mouse is looking for an angle.
Beautiful angle on that twist there. Not quite able to get the shot, though. There's a defender in position. Again, we are seeing some incredible aerial control here. These are the kinds of shots that one dreams about and lands once and then never again, and you're constantly thinking about it every other game of Rocket League you play. No, I'm not bitter.
You're just praying your NVIDIA can get your FP registered. Right. Save last 2 minutes. I need to clip this for my friends. I gotta send this in Discord. Man, I'm loving to see the acrobatics. I'm loving to see the energy of this game. Definitely picked it up, like we had said. Even if it's more of a blowout, but Soren coming in with the 4th goal for Lakeland University.
Banished into the void itself as he lands another beautiful shot. Lakeland 4, Reno Rollers at 1 with 1:40 on the clock. That now it's still 3 scores needed just to tie things up, and even less time for Reno Rollers. Truly got their backs against the wall a little bit here. They are really going to have to shoot aggressively to make this happen, but the danger they're in being might leave them vulnerable because clearly Lakeland is able to spot an opportunity the minute it opens. They've got razor-sharp focus.
Right, I can definitely see this team running deep into this tournament. They're showing great all-around gameplay, honestly. Like we said, the teamwork is there. We see how they have the patience and they have the aggression. They know when to turn it on. And I'm really impressed by getting to see that just so early in the tournament run. We'll see what else they can manage to fish up some
some gently escorting it.
Play from MN Mouse jumping off that wall. He loves that part of the wall right there. That's why he made that beautiful pass to Soren in match 1 for them. And then there he goes with his own angle and some beautiful upside down flying on that too.
Absolutely graceful midair, like a bird in flight. And an immediate destruction into almost a goal. 1 minute remaining. And once again, lethal intent from the first moment. And successful shots in the next. Freya Hayes ensuring that Lakeland continues to put up spectacular shot after spectacular shot and now has a fantastic 5-point lead. What do you do about something like this?
Honestly, you know, I think that this is one of those times where you get to take the rest of these 50 seconds to regroup mentally. Take your time to see what kind of moves they're coming at you with so that when you get into that next game, you have options. You've taken time to really digest what you're getting attacked with, because when it's coming from this type of aggression and you have that 5-goal deficit, I'm not going to say it's not worth the energy putting out, but you can definitely use that energy smarter for the rest of the series. These aren't best of ones. You know, you get some more time to redeem yourself. So best never to write it off. But I love to see that goal that we got from the Reno Rollers. They were able to snag a really nice goal, and they do have great answers to this offensive pressure.
Absolutely. We're seeing them fire back. I feel like this is also very revealing for Lakeland in that we were talking about them being very textbook, very methodical, but clearly they have shown, like you mentioned, they can turn it on when necessary. They can push some heavy-duty gain here and there. That is going to make them a sleeping tiger in many of these upcoming battles.
Right, I see them. See them setting up that final shot, trying to get the 7th goal there. That was definitely dangerous. But Freya takes the center on that one, man. Tactician with 10 centered balls and 4 goals, man. Absolutely beautiful work from Freya, from Soren, from NNN Mouse. Oh man, that was definitely a slugger game that we were looking for. That energy is there.
Ask and G shall receive. With that in mind, what are you gonna ask for next? All right, so that's one wish. You've got 2 left.
Oh, you're gonna be my genie for the day. Oh man,
it's not me, but it's clearly somebody's listening.
First thing, I need more wishes. That's my first wish always.
That's always banned. That's always off the table.
Nobody put it in my ear, man. I don't know about that.
That's always in the rules, man.
But definitely want to see, you know, a bit more of, like I'm saying, responses to that air pressure. You know, we got ourselves some really nice aerial work coming from Lakeland. I can see that they're taking even more to the skies because they see Reno Rollers is lacking in the defense in that side. Freya with the beautiful shot to open it up too.
Very, very close there. Nearly another game opening shot. But we're gonna take a few seconds more there at least, but Lakeland under threat now. A lot of almost so far, but only that. And there's a lot of almost in the game in general thus far, which again, this very, very clutch last-minute defensive play being the standard so far on our day. Everybody having that ability to remain calm and composed under pressure and make sure that the rotation stays solid, even when things like destructions, even when things like very aggressive shots go through, and yet Lakeland still finds the openings.
Eminem Mouse, man, he just knows how much advantageous his positioning is going to be when he's in the air. I see him just moving to bounce the ball. He's looking to be spinning in the air. He knows he's not going to get contested when he's in the offensive zone and he's in the air. So I'm looking to see him capitalize on that more, get himself a little highlight reel. Ooh, Soren with that misdirection of the freaking shot. That was beautiful.
That was very, very nearly in, but thank goodness for Soren, who was able to land yet another clutch defense. That really, this feels like a kind of a game which you're in constant state of panic. At least I would be, with things like this going through and Soren scoring yet again.
Scores, goals, shots, everything, man. I'm loving how we see all three players getting their moment. It's not a moment where I'm saying, Soren, 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 mouse, 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 mouse. Freya, Freya. It's literally, we're getting just highlights from each of these players. They definitely get their moment to shine. We have 3 All-Stars on that Lakeland University esports, and I hope they're really proud of the games that they've been playing so far.
Absolutely, and yet we are also seeing Reno Rollers continuing to fire back, continuing to apply pressure in the opposite direction here. They just need a break to get them onto the scoreboard and prevent Lakeland from having that monopoly on the point gain that they got last game. Once again, they're going to need to, at this point, it seems like, tighten up their defense nice and early to prevent themselves from getting into a situation in which they have to try and swing for the fences against Lakeland, because you do not want to give this team any additional openings. Their control mid-air and on the ground is so tight.
Definitely. I'm seeing these passes, I'm seeing these setups, and they definitely are getting contested, and that's good because we could see a 7-0 score right now with the way that they're putting up these plays, man. It's beautiful. But we're seeing Reno Rollers stopping a lot of that action, and I'm definitely happy to see that for them. It speaks well for their run in this tournament as well. Like I said, this is double elimination. Even if they're not able to get it away from Lakeland, who's definitely on a hot streak right now, if they're not able to get it away from them, they can definitely use this resilience we're seeing to get them very far in this tournament still. Maybe even get themselves a second shot at Lakeland later on in the day.
Maybe. We are seeing a lot of mobility at play here. Once again, we are into that range in which there's a lot of active threats, but not a clean hit for a bit because the defense is so on point there. Ooh, again, close. The angle's just ever so slightly off. We're once again going to be hovering around as we wait for the next opportunity to open up here. Reno Rollers is in great danger, and yet, oh god damn it, and Mouse, I was just about to say, and yet they managed to deflect, and who do I see emerging from the shadow, sliding in like Racer X? He was hidden behind another car, emerged from behind a dust cloud for a clutch addition to the shot.
Man, his light taps to capitalize on these minuscule moments of a goal is insane. I'm impressed, man. Sign me up for the MNN Mouse Rocket League workshop. This guy's got finesse.
Yeah, what's your rates? How much for coaching? I need the assist.
Man, we're looking to give you more than gift cards, MNN Mouse. Definitely let me know what's up.
How many gift cards do I need to give you for you to take me to higher rank? All right, at the moment, focusing on the tournament at hand rather than the one I'll be competing in.
Right,
we see another long distance shot. Once again, the man can't be stopped. MNN Mouse refuses to quit.
Just delicious shots. That's his favorite spot on the wall. Don't get me wrong. That's the 3rd time we've seen a highlight moment from this man. Scooping things off midfield, passing it, following through all the way into the goal. He's not afraid to use that boost in advantageous ways and to be in your face, in your goal. This man looks for shots. Soren taking another shot off the corner. What is it? What's the
Spider-Man out here?
What's the answer here? I didn't even know that's a shot in Rocket League.
That is such a narrow slot because, again, that is a shot that would land so infrequently. When you have a team like Lakeland, they're not taking shots unless the situation is already set up well. And again, they have the rotation and communication clearly to say you're in position for X, Y, or Z and hit very, very niche shot opportunities like that. I feel like that favorite spot on the wall for Mouse is a very similar thing. You have to have your the enemy field curtailed in a certain way for that to happen, and they are so good at making that happen, at opening them up and getting those shots made.
Dan has been doing an amazing job stopping a lot of these offensive opportunities from our friends at Lakeland University, but we see another one lining up here. Oh God, it happened
again. The wait, the delay, the gentle touch.
The pump fake, the slight gas just to put the animation of the boosters on, just enough to finesse around in a perfectly centered goal from NNN. What are we doing?
The hands of a surgeon.
I think that's 2 hat tricks across the team. They might try to finish 9-0 and just get our friend Soren up there too. This is beautiful work from our friends. I'm loving to see them getting very comfortable, very, very comfortable. It bodes well for whatever games and matches we have coming forward for them. Freya scoops off a nice little pocket hit there. I love it.
Oh my God, fantastic. And once again, everyone on this team is on point. There's some real lethal energy coming off this team right now. The Lakeland has come through with intent for that first place spot, and we are going to need to be on the hunt to see who's going to be the first one to really turn things around here and put them under siege, because it's going to take a lot. A minute remaining, 7-0. Reno Rollers is going to need to find the secret sauce, the juice, the answers to fire back in these last 46 seconds.
Right, and I take this, like I said, this even more than how I said it earlier. Take this time to really recompose yourself as a team. Find moment in this moment of 7-0 to really find your time to consolidate your efforts. Really take that time to rally your energy.
No
and
way.
Know what you're gonna
no way you hit that.
Scooping
the guide into the wall jump, a one-man show on that. Escorting that along the side. Normally, that's the thing. You're like, all right, I can't hit a goal from this angle. I got to bring it up and circle it around the other end. And yet, Freya, with a perfect guide,
passes it to himself, jumps off the wall, boosts into the goal, takes the lead even further. We're at 8-0, and they've stretched 5 minutes into definitely a master class of what they can do with that time. I'm loving Lakeland University's esports offensive pressure. I'd love to see somebody test them. I'd love to see somebody come and bring them to that limit of getting shot on, and see how they really bring that defensive energy back. But for now,
one more at the end. They're not done. They get the three-peat on the three-peat and finish up 9-0. One more by MNN Mouse.
Just like pass, or I don't even know, that's like a double goal from him and Freya at that point. We can't even call it a pass. Prodigy, 5 goals coming from MNN Mouse. 5 goals. Absolutely insane. I'm so impressed. I'm really impressed by the Lakeland University esports.
Freya said not to leave her off of the roster, but certainly MNN Mouse is still showing that he has that energy as a devotee striker, as a dedicated brawler.
And shout out to our friends at Reno Rollers. They definitely held their own as much as they could in that offensive onslaught that is Lakeland University. They're definitely showing their resilience, but I want to see them take more offensive pressure in the next game. Let's see some highlights. That game was crazy. There's plenty of goals to go through.
Please, let's take a look at how spectacular this match was. Excellent highlights reel here where, again, we're seeing a monopoly on that game by Lakeland, but there were a lot of clutch defenses here by Reno Rollers over the course of the match. They did a lot of good work trying to keep things at bay. But man, did Lakeland turn on the nitrous, hit the Oz on this match and show the upper limits. I feel like this is a full display of their talent here. We have seen them on that methodical approach, that slow and steady, and we have seen what happens when they decide to just crank the juice from minute 1.
Right. And like we said earlier, all these shots, they look like they've been practiced a million times. None of these look like off-the-wall shots that they're just reaching for. Comfort spots, shots that look rehearsed in a way. I'm loving it. And we got to see that goal in the face-off earlier from Reno Rollers. If we could have just seen that continued pressure, I wonder if they would have been able to break through what Lakeland University was bringing. Unfortunately, we see that wasn't the case. We saw them continue through game 1 to bring that pressure and ended at a 5-1 victory. And then we saw what ended up being the 9-0 game. Starting off with MNN Mouse again, the name we've been saying all day, scoring, just doing some beautiful, beautiful theatrics, acrobatics. It speaks for itself. Look at these guys high flying.
It's absolutely incredible to watch in action. We are seeing the beginnings of what is no doubt going to lead to some climactic moments later on. When we see somebody rise up and start trading bombs against Lakeland, it is going to be an event. If folks, once again, if you think we're loud now, just wait. We're only getting started. I promise you, you're gonna want to. Hey, don't turn up the volume on your headphones. Is all I'm saying.
Caution, headphone users.
Yeah, absolutely. That needs to be like on every shirt that I wear when I'm on stream. This caution, headphone users. I don't know about you, but
and we have plenty of teams that have already been farther in the tournament, so it looks like we're gonna get to see some people that have already been, solidifying some victories. They have some higher seeded placements. Perhaps they're bringing that kind of energy that we're going to get to see Lakeland getting truly contested by. Because honestly, I could see all of these guys as high diamond challenger level players. They're doing beautiful things together. I'm really impressed. Like we said, I kind of asked for that 9-0 scoreline, so I guess my second wish has been granted in a way. I mentioned that once they got the 6-0 that they might end up in a 9-0, but they really stretched that 5 minutes to its limit, Caleb. I'm so excited to see what else we have coming from them, as well as the other teams in the tournament, man.
Absolutely. Well, you've got one wish left, so we'll keep that in the pocket.
Oh.
And then consider that while we take a moment to talk about, yet again, Nation's Finest and the Cup. They're doing so much for our veterans, and while we are being absolutely enthralled, don't get me wrong, by the gameplay has gone through thus far. It's been crazy, and it's only gonna get crazier, I'd imagine. But do keep in mind that this is all for the support of our nation's veterans that we are providing. Again, the Nation's Finest, they're giving housing support, employment assistance, mental and physical health care, everything you need, substance abuse aid, all the things that our veterans are in dire need of around the country, helping over 7,000 people thus far, and that number is only growing day by day, bit by bit, thanks in part to events like these. So please do head on over to nationsfinest.org or to nationsfinest.kindful.com and find ways you can donate, you can support, you can volunteer. I've done a lot of volunteer work myself, and I know it's a very, very enriching thing to do.
Absolutely. Nothing's more important than community, and nothing also speaks more to community than being in a regiment. And we have our friends at Regiment playing that next game, man. Regiment versus Regiment Team B. So I'm really looking forward to, like I said, some methodical gameplay. Regiment speaks to some military background, right? I want to see some plays. I want to see some formation shifts, some great movement. I want to see some combative gameplay coming up, man.
Certainly we have seen some of that already. We know that the power is out there, and getting two new teams, diving right into some gameplay, means we have, once again, our analysis period starting all over. You made your predictions in that, want to see that very, very tactical, precise gameplay style here. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to bet on a wild card. I think we are going to see one of these teams come through with something crazy. I think one of them are going to be trick shotters, and maybe it's going to be this one. We see a disgruntled vet already lining up a pretty beautiful shot there. Again, manipulating those angles. I'm seeing some sauce.
He's not feeling disgruntled about that, man. He's got the master hand goal too, so this guy, he knows what's going on. He's got some sauce, and he found some really saucy angle with that aerial twist that he got on that, man. I'm super happy to see our game starting off with a goal in the first 30 seconds. Let's see how Regiment can respond to that pressure, though. It's easy to get a first goal out from under you and move into a 1-1 scoreline if you move past it. Once you get into that 2-0 and they start to stretch that lead, it only gets more difficult because they don't really need to worry about their offensive pressure as much, man. They can kind of clear out, spend their time, but Regiment looking for a shot there.
Doing an excellent job here, maintaining pace, not allowing Team B to get any clean openings here. And we see once again that mid-air control still alive and well in our next match with our next set of competitors here. But once again, the skill on display is nothing but absolutely solid. And we're seeing a little bit wider swings here than in the last match. We're seeing again those big angle hits, trying to set things up more when they rotate back to center for shots like that.
Right, Mikey T finds a really nice angle on that, and with the pass, it wasn't even a pass, he just got it off the wall, scooped it up, and got it beautifully right at the top of the goal. Got some defenders that were looking for it, but he stops them in their tracks. I'm happy to see a 1-1 scoreline, man. This is going to be exactly what we were looking for. You said that we're going to get a bit more wild shots, and we're finding ourselves with wider gaps, like you said, how they're swinging wider, they're leaving themselves with wider gaps, but we're going to get to see a bit more explosive gameplay from that.
You're seeing, this is the kind of thing that you expect more generally, because those wider angle shots, just like trying to bank it off of a wall and things like that and let things line up, gives you more time to calculate, gives you more time to see what your opponents are doing, so to keep a wide angle on the field around you and catch moments like that.
He's picking up some really, really nasty off the walls that are not meant for him to be scoring on. I'm just going to say that. These are not passes. This man's picking up beautiful points. I'd say unforced errors from Regiment Team B coming in, as our friend Mikey T is just capitalizing on those small lapses in the goal space.
Beautiful mid-air work here. as once again, we're seeing the opportunities you can create for yourself when you have that little bit of extra space, a little bit extra room to rotate. We saw a lot of very tight angles, which are great for hitting things in unexpected locations, but there's also such a wide margin for error and so many things that can go wrong, especially if your opponent is on you, that it can be a very, very tricky thing. You can get a lot of gain, as you can see, working with a little bit more breathing room.
Ooh, man, beautiful pass from Campbell RL off the wall. And our friend's IDL is really able to pick that up and find a beautiful centered goal on that too. That's textbook. You can see the animation even flourish from it because it was just so perfect in the center.
You see the entire team take a turn, hitting that in where you saw the 1, 2, 3 knock-in on that.
Oh,
everybody got a hand on the ball there to make sure that that went through. Once again, teamwork at play.
Oh, wow. This is looking like those wide swings are getting really jabby.
Yeah, they're tightening it up. We're getting a little bit more narrow on these hits there. So do you remember when you said, I wonder how Regiment is going to strike back as Team B kicks things off? Well,
yeah, we're seeing some guerrilla warfare too. It's looking like, because they're picking up some crazy shots. Mikey with the first two, and then IDL and Campbell picking up those second ones, finding another angle on that last one. But Phoenix was able to get the nice save.
Well, mid-air, we're trying to do some mid-air work, but the defense is absolutely out here. Far too many people to be able to line up a shot that clean with that much open space. Again, the downside of having the wider shots is your opponents also have more time to get into action and try to rotate around, but they're clearly not letting it hold them back. Incredible mid-air work here by Mikey. That's not on target.
He finds that!
He did! That was on target. He didn't even need to tip it in again.
He's just there to flex.
How do you...
Oh my man!
How do
Look
you
at that!
hit that? That is half court.
That's a lob shot with the follow-up with no defenders. He was by himself and he's just doing it for the gram. I'm not mad at it.
Just do it.
I'm not mad at it.
Just popping off to let him know.
Mikey T with the hat trick now too. Shout out to Mikey T finding the first two shots and then the fifth goal for Regiment. Absolutely beautiful gameplay. This is looking like a team I could see giving Lakeland some trouble. Really having some really nice aggressive openings, really using their time together when they're all down the field to capitalize on some nice goals.
I wonder if I keep my microphone yet. I wonder if we've hit that point already. We may have hit that point already, and we might. If not, we're definitely going to hit it sometime soon because Regiment is absolutely unrelenting.
Yes, man. I'm loving that spread energy that we're getting from these teams that we find getting good leads. Like we saw Disgruntled Vet open up with the goal. Unfortunately, from there, we don't see any other teammates scoring. That's really gonna start adding up when you have 3 players on the enemy team that are scoring. You have a hat trick player, you have 2 and then 1 on the other player. We're gonna need to see those goals spread across the blue team. We're gonna need to see everybody pulling their weight in a way, really getting something specialized done. Because we're seeing every party on Regiment getting something unique added to this pot to get the victory.
It's going to be a tough victory, certainly, one way or another. The Regiment has a very hefty 5-point lead on their hands with 1 minute 6 seconds on the clock here. Is that going through?
Henny season. Henny season with the downtown long shot. Looking for it. Here he goes, bam. I'm loving it. What's the 115 kilometers per hour on that shot? That is a fastball if I've ever seen. I don't even think I've ever gotten a ball to go that fast in Rocket League.
Mean speed on that pitch. Absolutely wild.
You can hear that one whistling all the way back here in Las Vegas.
Team B's absolutely not turning it down here in these final few moments, still in this game, but the crunch is here. They're going to need to borrow that wish from you, Austin.
Right.
Because they need a great set, not just one, but several openings in short succession like this one here. No.
I was told in my ear I'm not allowed to alter the timeline with my wishes, unfortunately.
Not allowed to.
So fate will have
the reality stone down.
Yep, I have to put the reality stone down on this one, man. No manipulating time, no manipulating reality. Mikey T's manipulating the reality of Regiment Team B with that save, and then bringing it back for a shot. He saves, he shoots, no score, but man, this guy's all over the place.
Absolutely, like I said, relentless. Not stopping, not slowing even for a moment. The ability to keep that up due to a lot of technical and mental prowess. That was dangerously close.
Henny season finding some really, really nice gameplay through this ending of the period, but unfortunately, the longest second in Rocket League, the last second of the game, we're all holding our breath. drops. GG, I'm seeing the GGs through the chat. GG from us over here at the Las Vegas Esports Arena. Shout out to HyperX for giving us this beautiful place to be hosting this tournament in, and shout out to our friends at the Level Up Veterans Cup for hosting this with Nation's Finest. We're so excited to be bringing this level of Rocket League to the gameplay today, man. This is just really, really exciting to be a part of, man.
It's captivating, and if you were at home getting as hype as we are here in the studio for these, and surely you can imagine just how impactful and how community building gaming can be, and that is why it is so important for veterans, no matter how far away they are, no matter where in the world they are, what they're doing. It brings communities together. It is a great baseline for uniting people, and Nation's Finest recognizes that, and that's why they're helping support events like these, players like these, and of course giving them some prize money to encourage them to keep doing what they're doing, and encourage you all at home to throw some money or some of your volunteering hours their way and help make events like these a reality.
Right. And the ways you can do that is going to nationsfinest.org, or you can follow at nationsfinest.kindness.com to find out how you can help contribute to the events that you're seeing here, contribute in the communities that they're reaching, or just doing something from remote, doing something from far away. There's so many ways now we're able to stay connected. And just like how we're not in the arena with our gameplay today that we're getting back into right now, we're still able to remotely connect and see the absolute clinic that Regiment was able to give in the first game.
And they didn't start off with their foot firmly on the gas. They built up a little bit. Regiment Team B got the first strike, got first blood, but Regiment's fired back in a big way. And so now the question is Regiment Team B not fully warmed up, realizing what they're up against? Are they going to be able to try to be a little bit more aggressive here and try to get off into that good start again and keep that momentum going? Or is Regiment now fully awakened and popping off for minute one?
Ooh, yeah, that's definitely the kind of energy that we're going to be expecting to find out unfolding here today. It's just going to be a stalemate through the first minute of the game, it's looking like, as we continue to contest through this neutral zone here. But it's looking like the ball's actually on Regiment's side, so I'd love to see them capitalize on something, but I saw a huge hole there, and so did our friends at Regiment. They were looking for that shot, but just missing. Beautiful, beautiful defend from Henny Season. It's in the backfield, but it's getting cleared out by our friends Ideal. Going now for the shot and looking forward, but it's getting combated back. And we just got ourselves a good old-fashioned stalemate through this game too so far.
Oh, that's mid-air and it's so close to being on target. That's one of those things where you need to see somebody else once again coming through with that gentle touch. We might just see exactly that sometime soon. We're seeing a destruction for the time being, as that is in close proximity to Regiment's goal here.
Right. And I'm seeing a lot more play on the walls here, not necessarily getting those big open bank shots that we were getting to see earlier. We're getting a lot of congestion, a lot more beautiful
that's on target
wall play, it seems. And oh man, I was about to go crazy for that shot from Ideal, finding that through the midfield.
Once again, circling around, instead of rotating back out. That's in close proximity, and that is a very slant angle, but a successful one nonetheless.
Ideal, I'm saying, with these finesse angles. Look at that, just pity pat with a little tap over to the side. All you need, man. Don't gotta boost into nothing. Just sit, wait, attack. And that's where we see the game open up with a 1-0 lead from Regiment.
Yeah, he didn't run for that shot. He strolled. Oof. Your boy sauntered into the goal, and Mikey T is sauntering into the winner's circle as he fires off another shot. This one a little bit more heat to it as he came off that wall hot and sent that sailing.
He won't let himself not be spoken about for that long. He's going to find himself a 73-kilometer-per-hour centered goal off the wall. Oh, it's beautiful. I love to see it. They're really getting themselves a nice lead now. What we need to see from our friends at Regiment is the same stuff we were seeing earlier. That really aggressive, wide angle, more sluggish style of Rocket League where you're finding them bank shots, where you're finding some nice openings and they're able to capitalize on.
Absolutely, with another pop-up there. The mid-range, we're seeing some of that area control miss, unfortunately. Not giving him the realignment of the mid-air position that he was looking for here. We are still in neutral range, and that is a heated shot. The Phoenixer with an extremely on-point defense prevents that from soaring straight into the goal.
Right, nothing's more frustrating than feeling like all your beautiful shots are just in the perfect place of a defender. You know, it's like you're shooting at the defenders and not at the goal. I know that can be frustrating, but you know, it's nothing better than seeing some really good Rocket League that we're getting to see here. Ideal is going to be going through the neutral zone and getting contested back. back towards their goal, and seeing our friends at Regiment trying to fish for something. But Mikey T's in the air. He's doing some dangerous stuff. That's getting taken out by Henny Season. We'll see if Henny Season can find some of those nice goals like we saw in the earlier match, I mean.
Excellent dribbling here, as you can see them guiding that away from the net, keeping that well in control as the defenders work to make sure that that doesn't fall into the range of, again, rotating strikers here trying to go for a goal shot. A lot of very clean play by Regiment as they do some successful defenses here, but they are still under threat, under active siege at all times, and they are still in need of some scores on their own.
Phoenix with the beautiful save, getting to pinch that into the wall and clear that out of there. Mikey T is not playing with these shots, man. He finds them and he gasses into them. He's definitely one of their strong strikers, man. I'm excited to see him through this tournament.
We're getting some very, very impactful work here as that gets sent sailing. Another right after. Once again, we are threatening a shot on Regiment's goal here, but not quite able to make it. The defense is still on point. We haven't seen a lot of things moving in terms of the point totals, and we have under a minute left now, 55 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that's the thing about getting that 2-0 lead in Rocket League. You're really able to spend a bit more time cocooning, spending a bit more time shelling up and clearing out all that stuff from your backfield. Being very picky about the times where you're opening up, being very picky about those times where you want to get some goals. And we're seeing Regiment Team B just expanding this lead, not necessarily in points, but in pressure and momentum.
Once again, turns back around. We are back in that neutral range again. The wild thing is that 2 shots in this last few 20 seconds is a possible thing, but it's becoming less and less likely with every passing word that I speak. So the longer the sentence goes on, the less true it becomes.
And the longer you speak, this Gruntled event gets a moment to bring it to a 1-2. 9 seconds in Rocket League cannot be ignored. We've seen the 3-second goal already this tournament, so let's see if we can get Regiment in there.
Loving the mic drop on the goal. We might be finishing on one of those, might be sailing into overtime. It is entirely possible for Regiment to get a soar ahead, an immediate shot. They need it as immediately as possible, but Regiment Team B knows that, so they're going to be hot on the defense here. All they have to do is maintain for a few precious seconds. There's nobody in range to hold that up in midair, and so that is going to be it.
Man, that was so close. I love to see that energy that they brought to the end of the match, only if it could have come maybe 20-30 seconds sooner, because we even got to see them with a nice offensive position after that. But unfortunately, the time had run. We got Regiment Team B as our winners from that nice bout, and I'm excited to see them move forward.
Yeah, I'm excited to take a look at these. I'm so excited I need to look at this again.
Right.
I need to revisit some of those moments. We do have highlights to cut to take a look at how wild this has been, because my God, did we get some moments that we're going to want to keep in mind as we move down the line and get to see more of these competitors.
Right, disgruntled vet, like I said, with that master hand mic drop, letting them know what was up to start out the game. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, because we had people like Mikey T on the other side that was absolutely cleaning house. We had Ideal that was finding shots and passing it up and doing crazy stuff, following up his shots, blocking. It was a lot going on, I'm gonna be honest. But like I said, disgruntled vet and Regiment Team B were doing their thing. I was really happy to see that first game go in their favor.
It was a wild set of events. So we're seeing yet again a difference in play style here, but certainly they're both proving very, very effective from some of our earlier competitors. Lakeland University and Regiment are looking like very different teams, but in ways that I'm very excited to see how they intersect, what those two are going to look like against each other. That precision that Lakeland brought to the table might be the undoing for Regiment, who needs a little bit more breathing room with these shots, but then again, that increased space, the increased width on those rotations means they're going to be able to counteract, have the opportunity to, again, if their coordination is as on point, if their teamwork is just as sharp, regroup, reassess, and handle what is thrown their way.
Right, and this is the winner's quarterfinal, so we're definitely getting to see that winner's energy. I'm loving to see that Henny shot. Remember that 115 kilometer per hour shot from backline? That was so insane. And they're really just showing some really nice Rocket League. I'm happy that we got some great teams out here. I'm excited to see what's coming moving forward. And those highlights, they definitely speak to the strengths of each team.
Absolutely. We have seen some fast balls already. I'm pretty sure some of those shots left a crater in the back of the goal that had to be repaired off screen. Right. But certainly, we also saw a lot of very solid defense. Again, do not sleep on just how tactical these plays have been in so many occasions, how much clear attention there is to, again, we talk about the teamwork, and it really is the most pivotal, most important part. None of this would be possible. The striking, the defense, the coordination, none of it, if these players weren't, again, like you said, super well rehearsed. They have put in the hours, those are some 10,000 hour shots on display.
And these are definitely the kind of shots that we want to see being showed at this Level Up Legends Cup that we have, the Veterans Cup here at Nation's Finest. And the ways you can support them are through nationsfinest.org or going to nationsfinest.kindness.com to really get kindful.com, to really show your support in getting more and more events like this going, as well as impacting the over 7,000 communities that Nation's Finest is currently working with and is going to be working with in the future to just level up their lives through gaming, mental health awareness, housing, all the rehabilitation programs that they have going on. Like I said, nationsfinest.org, that's where you can find out more about how to help them out and really get your foot in the support of this platform.
Absolutely. As much as this has been a fantastic event already so far, and as much fun as I'm having, it also really does my heart good to know that this is the beginning of some other fine folks out there deciding to lend their support, going out there, volunteering some time, helping out in person or from afar, donating, just supporting the name, just getting the information out there to other people who have the ability to help, being so pivotal here. There's a lot of good already having been done, and there's a lot of good left yet to do. And in fact, we have an interview to cut to show you a little bit more about what the organization is doing, what they're capable of, and what that support looks like in real time.
Definitely. We're going to cut to that.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the first ever Level Up Veterans Cup. Rocket League is the game we're playing, and what you're doing is supporting our nation's finest, our veterans. I'm Chris Johnson, and I'm very proud, humbled, and honored to be the president and CEO of Nation's Finest. Each year, we provide support to over 7,000 veterans. That's 116,553 meals. That's 51,801 bed nights, just to throw some numbers at you. Thank you for all the support you've given us. The checks you're writing, the checks you wrote to play, are all going to support this cause. Next year is our 50th birthday, 50 years of providing support. Please, if you can, reach out on the information scrolling below me, and thank you again for helping us.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with even more of Nation's Finest sponsored Veterans Cup Rocket League tournament. And like you heard, it's been 50 years helping over 7,000 veterans and their families with all kinds of support, housing assistance, employment assistance, substance abuse assistance. It has been so much work already done, and we are here to help them with the next 50 years of helping out our nation's veterans.
Right, and you hear how excited they are to be helping people through gaming. You hear how excited they are to be helping people through all the avenues that they're doing. So just one more shout out to Nation's Finest for sponsoring the Level Up Veterans Cup. One more shout out to to Nation's Finest for just doing all the things that they've done in the thousands of communities that they continue to help. And it looks like we have ourselves going through Lakeland University coming back, and Short Circuit Gaming is going to be their opposition. So we'll see what's going on with that. Lakeland University, Game 3, what are your predictions of how they'll come out the gate swinging?
I'm really feeling at this point, there's a certain strategy to how you handle your energy. And I feel like the transition from that very, very textbook, very methodical approach in the first game to absolutely just putting the pedal to the floor in the next one, I feel like that was intentful, starting things off where you mentioned like maintaining your pacing for the overall match. You don't want to let everything out all at once. I also feel like that was their opportunity to get in sync, get coordinated, and get their eyes on their opponent, really see how the room was feeling before they got a little bit too crazy and things. So I feel like now that they're in full gear, they're going to stay in full gear. They are going to press very hard because they know that they can't go back to that methodical approach and go, we are but cautious. We're not going to get too crazy. Don't worry about us. We're going to take a nice easy back seat because they've seen what can happen.
Right.
We've all seen it now, what they're capable of.
Right.
So I'd imagine now they're going to try and lean into the shock factor of going hard right from the start. Unless they know something about Short Circuit that we don't.
I'd love to see Short Circuit Gaming calling out some of those comfort shots we saw. We saw that they have a few very, very practiced, tried and true things. I'm sure they have an arsenal of them, but I'd like to see those contested when they see Emin Mouse going towards that wall, when they see Soren looking like he's feeling pretty comfortable, or our friend Freya doing some nice little passes off the wall that we saw. Gotta get in there, break that up, stop that offensive pressure, because our friends at Lakeland University have an onslaught of energy that they bring forward.
Absolutely. So we're looking for some aggressive defense then, someone that can really come up and successfully body block all these shots. We're looking for an advancing guard. I'm trying to get fans out there. If anybody else can, at any time somebody talks about like aggressive defense, you can literally hear an announcer go, advancing guard, in the back of your head. As I can to this day.
Man, we're broken. We're broken.
I'll be an 80-year-old man, I swear, with like video game terminology coming out at certain points. I'll be like, I'll be on a cane going, wombo combos. Confusing a grandkid at some point.
Yeah, just talking about just comboing and juggling somebody into oblivion on some Street Fighter. Like I said, you know, you're pretty comfortable in that. So I'm really excited to see some combos and some juggling of some aerial gameplay from Lakeland again. Like I said, they like to keep that ball in the air moving. I'm hoping Short Circuit can bring some defensive pressure in the air too, because once we saw they got comfortable and uncontested in the air, they really ran for the fences and we saw high scoring momentum. So here we go, jumping into it. Lakeland University with the first possession, it looks like, but we already see Sway up there breaking it up, finding a shot
already.
Even. Wow, I'm loving that. That was great. That was great. Solus with the pass, Sway with the beautiful aerial movement. Looking at a game.
I gotta say, I feel like you may have used your third wish, because we do, not only do we see an early score from a Short Circuit game, but you said that the aerial management, aerial defense in particular, is going to be the most important part, and they do have a player named Aviator. So I feel like we have made some called shots here today.
Ooh, and Sway's already looking for another one. We see Lakeland, I'm not gonna lie, starting on the back foot on this one. Sway's getting crazy angles on this aerial gameplay. Solus is looking for the passes, and I'm definitely seeing Lakeland not looking to be that aggressive main possessor of the ball we're seeing before, and Sway's just guiding it in. He took that from midfield, uncontested, into the goal.
It was a spectacular display. You can already tell Short Circuit Gaming is absolutely undaunted by Lakeland's hot start here, but Lakeland shown themselves to be quite resourceful as well. They're on the back foot at the start of this, though, by a little bit, and now we get to see how that pressure you asked for is gonna...
Aviator!
They can respond to that.
Bringing it downtown! Flying through the sky! Aviator! You called it.
You wished for this.
He's the flight captain.
You brought this in.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. That's the kind of gameplay we asked for, and that's the kind of gameplay we're getting.
The skies.
With a 3-0 start this early, though, there's plenty of time for a rebuttal. I'm not worried about Lakeland. I know they find their opportunities. I'm sure they're taking this time to regroup in the comms to say, hey, guys, I know we got this. We've practiced in way worse conditions than this. We can regroup in 4 minutes. So I'm excited to see how they get this ball moving towards the Short Circuit Gaming goal. And I'm seeing a little bit of packet loss on that. Hopefully it's not affecting their vibe too much.
Tipped in there, Aviator again. Man. I haven't. We're gonna have to take a look at this.
That
Once
is
again,
so
look close. That's a low shot, and yet still Aviator is mid-air, making them. He's never touched the ground.
Yeah, that man's hovering. It's like he's levitating without even using his fuel. I'm seeing he's not even pressing boost. He's just laxing.
He sleeps slightly above his bed at night.
Yeah, we're seeing this winner's semifinal definitely bringing up the pace for Lakeland. I'd love to see them rise to this occasion, bring some goals onto that scoreboard, bring some energy to match Short Circuit Gaming here, because they're not playing with this opening 2 minutes.
Austin, no time has passed. We still have 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Barely any time has passed.
We're spending time watching Short Circuit Gaming on the replay.
It's barely anything has gone by, which is good because it means there's plenty of time for Lakeland to fire back, but at the same time, it's potentially dangerous because it means what is Short Circuit gonna do in the next 2 minutes?
Right, they literally have 3 people converging on one per point to get the aerial goal. You see that. You see how they're left in the backfield. It's fully open as they're all on the goal, but there's no answer from our friends at Lakeland University. They just got such good coverage even when they're on the full offensive. I'm loving the Short Circuit Gaming gameplay we're seeing. It's absolutely powerful.
Absolutely. Like, this is already, we'll hope for and absolutely received an answer to Lakeland's absolutely spectacular early game start. Short Circuit Gaming has them really on the back foot now, up 4-0. That is some pressure, that is some power, and that is proof that Short Circuit has absolutely earned their position here thus far and are going to be a viable contender. Sway, once again, hits him with the lean and a rock.
It's so clean, the plays that we're seeing them pick up. But unfortunately, due to that packet loss, we're going to give them a moment to hopefully sort that out. But I'm absolutely loving what we're getting to see thus far from our friends at Short Circuit Gaming.
It is crazy so far. I am, for one, loving what we got out there, and I can only imagine it's going to be picking up. We have plenty more game left to go. As you can see, we are now 5-0 with 2 minutes 16 seconds on the clock here. We've seen Lakeland pop off hard enough to make up point totals that quickly, but at the same time, we have never seen Lakeland down by 5 before. So the question is, can they do it against Short Circuit? What happened to those incredible tactical midair plays? We're seeing not only the high firepower, but we're seeing that Lakeland doesn't have enough time to set up those clutch shots because they're spending so much time trying to survive.
Right, for the first time, I'm also finding myself not saying MNN Mouse. I'm not saying Soren. I'm not saying Freya. They're just having a little bit less presence due to that all-star energy that we're seeing Sway step up with. He's honestly playing out of his mind this game. He's very, very methodical. I see his movement and maneuvering of the game, of the terrain, is very, very expert. He's flying off the ceiling, perfect placement to guard goals, and then also still getting in nice offensive positions to capitalize on good goals. So shout out to Sway, and also shout out for his team to enable him to play that way, because you know it's not a one-person game. You need 2 other people in the minds of the enemy to really get yourself to expand on that gameplay like that. So shout out to Sway and his team at Short Circuit Gaming.
Absolutely wild stuff done in such a wide range of spots. The Short Circuit has done nothing but inspire strong confidence here. This might be a run back situation. This might be a Lakeland saying, okay, let's try that again. Let's bring that round again. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. Let me see.
Hold on a minute.
Let me see what you got. Because let me see you power up first. Maybe giving them the Goku treatment.
Yeah. It said, I'm just going to let you hit Clearly, we are seeing Short Circuit already in the final form because we saw Lakeland to pull that, starting off a little bit more precautious and still win.
Right.
But
it was the kind of team play from Lakeland we were mentioning earlier that was really, really getting it for them. We're seeing them not be able to pass the ball effectively. We're seeing them not be able to get those really, really minute jabs that we were getting to see them get against other opposition in the quarterfinals previously. So I'm excited to see how they can bring back the energy that they had to take from this. I know they were using this time to study what Short Circuit Gaming is bringing to the table. And with this last second, we see Aviator still trying to look for a shot flying upside down for it.
my God, the mid-air work by Short Circuit over the course of this game has been absolutely spectacular. Aviator doing such incredible work there, and not even being the person with the most goals by the end of all things. It was a wild game.
Really, we saw some significant movement in the air in the early game that was able to get them a very, very strong lead. And we were talking early game about how we're gonna need Lakeland to be contested in the air for them to see some pressure, and we saw our friends at Short Circuit Gaming give a master class in that.
Absolutely, we did indeed hear gently in the wind somewhere someone saying your wish has been granted. Not sure where that came from, but clearly you've picked up something. I'm not sure what wayward spirit you managed to incur a blessing from, but it's given us some great games so far. So the question now rather is, what's next? What's going to be the next beast? Because we have that contesting energy now. We have somebody who's willing to give them a strong counter showing in the air. Do we see Lakeland retreat from that strategy and circle back to that more methodical approach now that they know that they're up against somebody that is also trying to come in guns blazing, and that is a game that they could be at the very least a coin flip for them.
Right.
If
maybe
not losing endeavor.
Slow it down, bring it to that 0-0 at 2-3 minutes pace, but be able to take better shots like we saw them doing in their first match against their first opponents. I think that might be the answer that you've just found. Would be really nice to see Lakeland go back to that textbook style, go back to whatever they're doing in Rocket League 101 at the Lakeland University Esports. But I would love to see them do that and hopefully take back some of that power that Circuit Gaming was able to take from them in that last game.
It's very, very possible because, again, if we were starting off on a foot, we saw Lakeland open with that and it was all offense all the time, I'd be worried that they didn't have that back line to fall back on.
Right.
But the fact that we know that that core competency is absolutely there means that if they have to pivot strategies and go to something like that, they have to work a little bit more on that, again, making every possession for their opponents that much more difficult, and at the very least, cutting down on how quickly shots can be possibly made.
Right.
It inspires a lot of confidence in their ability to handle short circuit.
They did score 9 goals in 5 minutes
They
previously.
did. They did score. So it could very well be a case of holding down the defensive line for the majority of it.
Yeah,
and then,
not going to say sandbagging.
a minute left, whoosh,
Limit testing.
3 shots right through.
Right, just a quick little limit test, making sure that they know where they're at, making sure that they know their own limits as well and the errors in their gameplay so that they can clean those up moving forward in the tournament. Nothing's worse than getting a demoralizing loss in the grand finals that makes you go off your game to the end. Better to take that quick little, shrug it off in the semis when the pressure isn't so high on you, and then you can really move and navigate forward more strategically to secure yourself that final place.
Absolutely. That is a key thing in esports and in life, is that ability to get hit with something big and be able to bounce back from it. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. If you're ever in a fight with somebody, you swing full force and they do that thing where they go, all right, and it looks like they just woke up, you've lost that fight. You have to go. You've immediately you must surrender. You must give
equivalent
up.
to the guy warming up his legs when
Yeah.
you put your hands up, right?
That or if you go full force against somebody and they go woo, they're like whoo, all right, you've lost. At that moment, you've already lost the fight. So if we can see them hopefully come back from being hit like that,
right?
Maybe not with quite that energy, but at the very least, if they can roll with that and maintain composure, that speaks volumes, not just in this match, but against any kind of an opponent, because you never know when you're going to be caught off guard. You can't prepare for everything, but you can always prepare to be surprised.
Right. Champions are resilient. Champions still lose, but they know how to take that loss and get it into a win. And I'm really hoping to see Lakeland University take this game 2 and bring it into that exact same place, even though Solus is already opening up with a really nice shot.
Ooh, that was almost on target to be a hit there. We are back in neutral territory. Not quite yet, still on Lakeland's end of things. A lot of aggression here. Short Circuit once again is hungry for that early game shot, and they just might get it. There's Aviator once again in the air. This man rules the skies, but even he having a little bit of difficulty getting that shot lined up there. There's Sway once again without the angle, but there's Aviator.
Ooh.
Whip it.
We're not talking about Aviator in the air. That was some textbook Aviator on the ground, looking for a really nice angle, finding it with a beautiful pass from Solus. I'm loving the full display now. We've gotten the air, we've gotten the crazy acrobatics. That was just beautiful game.
That was mid takeoff.
Exactly.
That's leaving the airport. And you're already firing off.
Man, I'm loving your analogies, brother. You bring it up. I love it. Aviator finds that though and is back to the skies, hitting the spins, showing us all the beautiful sides of that car. It's souped up so beautifully. The aesthetic as well of all the vehicles we've seen today definitely gets a nod. Shout out to all the customization in Rocket League, as well as the customization all these characters have brought to their cars, an extension of themselves.
Ooh. Speaking of which, Sway, not only with the vehicular drip, but also with the mid-air skills. Clean work again. And again, narrow range there, but beautifully on point. We are once again in a 2-0 situation right and early, just under 4 full minutes to 3 minutes, 53 seconds on the clock now. Aviator once again climbing to the top and looking to once again make it drop.
Soren was there perfectly looking for that block, but you see Sway come from nowhere and just to re-angle it. It's really, really beautiful stuff we're seeing from them. They know how to take 2 offensive opportunities as opposed to 1. If Soren's not there, they have the opportunity to score, but they also have Sway for the backup just in case Soren is there with the perfect block. And looking for some crazy bank shots as well off the wall.
It's incredible. That pop-up there. Once again headed back into goal range, but not quite touching it. This might be it though. They're gonna once again try to dance it through. But even they aren't able to make that ankle happen.
Sway stands there disappointed in himself. He's like, that's so me. That was my highlight reel. That was my opportunity. Aviator just air juggling to Tomorrow, trying to get the pass off the Solus down there. But it was broken up by our friends at Lakeland University. What is their option here? What can they do with this 2 minute and 54 seconds to really put that short circuit gaming in a short circuited position?
I think we're seeing it right now. I think we're seeing them apply a little bit more heavy duty defense.
Dude, the caster curse on that one. They were doing some great stuff, definitely. But Solus finds a crazy pass from Sway. Another shot I didn't even know you could take in Rocket League. I thought that's definitely. They're showing me things. I'm ready to go into my solo queue games now.
There's an interesting dichotomy being struck between me and you here. It's like the two-headed snake. One always lies to oneself. There's just one caster always makes you do well. One caster always curses you.
No. Look, the coin could just as easily be flipped.
Oh God!
Nary can the coin be flipped against Aviator though. Can this man be stopped? I honestly gotta give the MVP not just for the sticking to the theming on the name and just flying through this game, but just really being in advantageous positions and really setting up nice opportunities for short circuit gaming.
This is, I was about to say, 2 points ago, I was about to say Lakeland was doing an excellent job of keeping short circuit relatively contained. And that means they were able to buy time so that they could line up a shot of their own and start to fire back. But now the short circuit is 4-0. I don't know anymore.
Man, I was like watching this gameplay, like, could I please see that? Could I please run that back? Can somebody get me in a coaching session? Like, you're seeing some crazy shots lined up. I love to see them executed, though. They've been executed 4 times previously, as you can tell on the scoreboard. But I'd love to see a bit more capitalization from Short Circuit Gaming on those runaway attempts like they have. They got a few where they're missing. They could have a 7-0 lead. You know, I don't want to speak, like that they don't have the lead, but really clean up a bit more of these strikes, and you're going to see them be a formidable opponent in the finals if they can get there.
Absolutely. We are seeing a lot of guiding work here, trying to set up our next opportunity with a minute 28 seconds left on the clock. We've seen with Lakeland's point game in past games, they have absolutely the proficiency to make up this many points in this amount of time here. But that's becoming a taller and taller order with every shot that is landed by Short Circuit, who are now up 5-0. Lakeland, 2 games now, has not gotten onto the board.
Right. That part cannot go without mentioning. We're seeing Aviator pass it off the wall to Solus, then get the pass, receive the pass straight after that, and get a beautiful goal to get the 5th goal of the game. It's really, really beautiful gameplay. And there's nothing more to say other than the teamwork here is definitely being shown. We're seeing a really, really strong example of what Short Circuit Gaming can bring to the table, and I'm excited to see what else they can do against stronger opposition in this tournament.
Ooh, mid-air. Ooh, is in position. He doesn't quite have the angle to bring it in himself, but you know Aviator right behind him is hunting for it, gonna try and guide it in, and Solus with
like
the assist.
Frames, you see, like the ball didn't even want to go in. It's like,
look at the spiral he puts on it. Then Solus comes in. I got you, man. Sends it through. 6-0. 49 seconds left on the clock. Short Circuit Gaming has come for the crown.
You're seeing in the comms too. It's a gentleman's game. We're seeing a lot of class from Short Circuit Gaming. Some sorries, some my faults.
Absolutely.
No spamming of great pass, great block, You know, we're just seeing a nice little gentleman's agreement that we're going to continue to show what we can do in this tournament, and we're going to definitely do it in the most gracious way possible.
Nothing but class. This level of skill comes with a high level of integrity, and of course we are out here supporting Nations Finest, supporting our nation's veterans, and we have nothing but respect and love for the game and for the cause we are all working towards here today. Even if we are a little bit hungry for that $450 in gift card money.
Yeah, I know everybody's got that on their minds as they're getting into these matches, but once the game starts, you're not thinking about money. You're not thinking about anything but some glory in your name being in that grand finals match, and we're seeing Short Circuit advance towards possibly being the victors of that. That was such a beautiful game.
Absolutely. And now we can think about the money. In those brief moments when you have that pause, you're like, Might be kind of nice though, you know,
Right.
a little bit of pride.
They-
very, very well earned at this point by Short Circuit. A beautiful game, and still I feel a textbook display, masterclass for anybody out there looking to level up your own game. You have highlights to look back on as well, so you can take another close look at those wild moments we've had.
Right, that was Lakeland University we're talking about. I'm not gonna say they were my tournament favorites, but they were looking like unstoppable force, at least gonna be putting on a crazy, crazy show against anybody, no matter the talent level. They couldn't get on the board for Short Circuit this past match. We saw Short Circuit sway, soulless. We saw them doing crazy passes in the early game. We saw some really, really nice stuff opening up, and then Aviator taking to the skies.
Absolutely crazy. So that's an excellent question. Is what do you think is more responsible for that? Do you feel like this was an example of Lakeland not having the ability to defend as well against Short Circuit? Or do you feel like it was more Short Circuit being so quick with it, so adept that they were able to counter neutralize it? Like, you know, which end of this are we seeing? Are we seeing Short Circuit just be that good, or are we seeing Lakeland not really have an answer for what Short Circuit was putting out?
You know, I hate to be that person, but it was definitely a little bit of both. Lakeland didn't bring those offensive opportunities that we were able to see previously, and Short Circuit brought all the opportunities. So it was definitely nice. We have a best of 5 from these two teams. So even though Short Circuit does have the 2 notches in the belt, Lakeland could easily hit this with the reverse sweep. This is definitely going to be their time to do that, and they've started off with an early goal.
Already off to a great start. Already we're starting to see was getting back against the wall perhaps, but they are firing back. Not at all out of this yet. We got some breathing room for them. Got to be careful because, again, best of 5 means that we are looking at if Short Circuit can pick up one more game, that's going to be the game. So they really have to come through with some wild scoring here, and Solus is already making sure they know that it's not going to be one-sided in the other direction.
Right, and that destruction that left that goal so open really tells a tale of how hungry Short Circuit Gaming is to close out those minute gaps in the score. They don't want to be behind. They don't want to be with themselves on a 0. And we see Freya with the crazy shot lined up and possibly the follow-up, but it's cleared out back into the Lakeland University Esports side of the field.
Fantastic work there as we are once again. You can see Solus trying to get to work that setup, is going to miss on the defender. Unfortunately, that's going to give Soren the opportunity to slide it right around behind him and go for the goal.
Soren finds a delicious boost on that when he picked up the super boost, filling up that gauge completely, getting the inside track and making himself unstoppable and getting themselves another point, hopefully bringing ourselves to a nice Lakeland University showing of what they can do when they got that lead.
Spectacular work so far. Lakeland on the comeback tour. And another shot that was in dangerous range there of adding further to that. Not quite happening yet, but we see, once again, beautiful aerial work here. Sway trying his best to keep control of things. The cracks might be starting to form in the flawless gameplay thus far for Short Circuit.
Oh, wow, you could tell that Freya wanted that save so bad, but Solus finds a perfect pocket with the pass from Sway. The aerial gameplay cannot be ignored from these guys. He's coming off the wall and capitalizing on that shot so beautifully.
Beautifully indeed. As we go back into things, get our first knock. We once again engage in the beautiful dance that is that neutral range maintenance here. Aviator trying to get things lined up for a teammate in rotation. Solus doing the same. Everybody looking to establish that gameplay control before we hit the air and start actively going for those spikes like that. A centimeter off.
That was the game clincher, but nonetheless, we have Lakeland firing right back, finding those misdirections if they could just be a little bit more proactive on that positioning. Freya gets the positioning forward.
That's a destruction that could be big here, but they're not rushing it. Short Circuit not getting too aggressive, even off the destruction there. Once again, making sure that they have the good lineup first and foremost before they try to go for anything crazy here.
I want to see Superstar Emin Mouse, the one we were screaming the name of earlier in the broadcast, really stepping up and trying to capitalize on this moment of stalemate. We've got 2 minutes left on the clock, 2 minutes between each team. 2 wins for Short Circuit Gaming. The next one brings them to the grand finals. Lakeland can capitalize on this and shift the momentum in their way. Nothing would be more exciting than this reverse sweep right here. Getting our makings towards that with starting with 1 goal from from Lakeland University.
Yep. Goes sailing through there. Gonna be deflected at the very end, but it's not enough. The defense was not on target there, and it's going to continue on. Sailing right through. You can see Freya with the fencer, but Solus with the counterplay. The tip off the tip for the tip in on the tip in.
The tip for the tip was absolutely tip-tastic. I was not expecting that angle to come out, but man, neither was Freya. Freya really went in for the block, committed fully with the air dodge. Unfortunately, that was not the path that we were looking for. And unfortunately for them, that means that they need to come back with this one goal in 1:30. And they're gonna be in the winner's finals bracket. Short Circuit Gaming will be in the winner's finals bracket. If they continue to score like Sway is doing
You
there.
see the speed on that? That is like a corner shot. How hard that ricocheted immediately straight for goal.
You have to give the credit to Solus on that pass, finding Sway in the pocket, finding Sway with the heat, giving them that energy to really give an over 100km/h shot, and then just continuing with the clinic. 3 shots.
I was just about to say, well, now it's starting to slide in Short Circuit's favor, and it's less a slide and more an avalanche. As we see some back-to-back shots landed now, once again, the impetus is on Lakeland to somehow manage a similar feat. Can they do it?
In the past 30 seconds, we've spent more time watching Short Circuit Gaming on the replay goals than we have got to see anybody even playing Rocket League.
Right.
So I really need to see Lakeland University show that last 1 minute grit as we get into this 1 minute remaining. Doing the same thing they just saw. 3 goals within 30 seconds. It's possible.
It's possible.
It can happen.
But is it likely against Short Circuit in particular? We have seen that Short Circuit's proficiency is not only adept at getting shots landed for themselves, but they control the ball so often, so intensely for such long periods of time that it doesn't give Lakeland a lot of opportunity to do much of anything. They don't have the ball to play with, let alone the ability to set up high accuracy shots.
Right, and they're really just doing a great job at still looking for offensive capabilities within this last minute, as well as keeping the ball absolutely out of their own goal. We haven't seen really any shots available for Lakeland in this past minute, and now we're in the last 30 seconds. We're gonna see, hopefully, Short Circuit Gaming continue this type of success for themselves in the winners final, but I'm really interested to see what kind of heat they're gonna be met with.
I can't imagine it getting much hotter than this, but honestly, I couldn't imagine it getting much hotter than what we started with, and that was the team that has now been on the back foot of several games in a row. Aviators scoring again as I speak. I'm proving my point. In the first game in these 3, in which Lakeland has been on the scoreboard.
Right, absolutely dancing through the air with every goal. The style points on Aviator, 10 out of 10. MVP of the match for me. I was impressed by this gameplay. In the last second of Rocket League, it might be the longest second ever to be known, but it's gonna end here with Short Circuit Gaming as our winners advancing forward into the winners final. With that, look at the Aviator, with the style even in the finish.
Just tap dancing on the ball, starts to finish. A wild thing to watch in action. So, I mean, I really feel like we've reached heights in every game at this point where you're like, well, that's the highest we can go. And then we somehow managed to, so we've got some highlights to look at to prove my point, but I don't know, where do we go from here? Really, what else? What else could happen to us?
I mean, honestly, I guess just 1-to-1 passes through the air, like maybe like 1-to-1-to-1 through the air with crazy capitalization of some like insane move. But who knows, man? We've gotten to see, like you're saying, crazy goals. Sway, Solus, Aviator, our new 3 names that we're cycling through, just giving us goal after goal after goal. They transition from power places. Honestly, Solus does do a lot more of these passings I'm seeing, but scoops off these crazy little opportunities like that we're seeing. I'm really excited about this gameplay.
It's absolutely phenomenal. This is some hype gaming, and again, don't let it distract you from the fact that we are supporting Nation's Finest and working towards the betterment of our nation's veterans in all things that we do here today. Certainly, these players are demonstrating some master class talent. I'm so glad they're generating this much hype for this good a cause.
Right. And you see these gentle misdirections from Aviator to end off this highlight reel. We're really, really lucky to be here in the midst of this gameplay. We're really lucky to be here in the midst of Nation's Finest and this tournament. I'm just happy to be here, man. This has been a really refreshing afternoon of Rocket League games.
Absolutely. This is a lot of energy, certainly, and only building as the gameplay goes on. Again, I don't know what heights we reach from here. You can say building more and more points, potentially seeing us crack those double digits sometime soon. We've gotten very, very close and not quite there yet. But then the question becomes, again, if things continue to escalate, how does it continue to escalate in these relatively one-sided fashions? We had one game that was a little bit in the middle, but we've had two matches now that were very heavily in somebody's side. And you'd think with those people converging, then you're gonna have something that's a little bit of back and forth, something that's a little bit mid-range for either.
Right. I think that what we need to see is a bit more support shown through the games, you know, necessarily taking the momentum back from your opposition. Whenever we see somebody with the lead, they're taking the lead and running with it. In the same way that we see the support could be shown for Nation's Finest by visiting them at nationsfinest.kindful.com or visiting them at nationsfinest.org to give any kind of support that you can in shifting that momentum to helping thousands of more families over the next year. And as they're celebrating their 50th anniversary of just loving and helping community.
There's a lot of time spent helping out people, and a lot of people that they've managed to help, over 7,000 so far, and only building as time goes on. And you can be part of the next 7,000 in a wide range of ways, no matter what your means are, no matter what's available to you. There's things you can be doing that'll be so impactful in somebody's life.
And we're jumping right into the action on Escape Velocity, Regiment Team B. We're talking about the winner's semifinals. This is gonna be some heat. I definitely already feel the movement and all the cycling of cars right now, gonna be doing something really fun for us.
Once again, popped up here, trying to angle that through, not quite on target. Unfortunately, we are back out again. The shot going wide here. Regiment Team B, we have seen some incredible stuff from them thus far. Escape Velocity. I am very, very excited to see what they're gonna be able to do here. The energy so far feels pretty balanced. And as I speak, the Hitman comes in with the kill shot.
Yeah, I really want to see how this matured because I honestly didn't even see, just a beautiful textbook pass. Idea was just a little bit too early on the commitment for the block, and Hitman just perfectly finds exactly what he said he's looking for, the kill shot. I like that. We're got back into the face-off neutral zone. I want to see a bit more oppressive energy from Regiment Team B. We know they can bring some heat. But let's definitely see them do a bit more proactive on the other side of the court.
Top trying for the tip there, but it's going to be a little bit wide out, at the very least even in neutral range here. Once again, Hitman is on the prowl. In a good range here, potentially for a jump up and again, beautifully angled shot there, but the defense is on point. Regiment Team B not going to give away anything without a strong fight.
Right. Definitely getting in there to block that out because it's definitely necessary to stop that 2-0 lead. We've talked about it all night. That 2-0 lead is oppressive in this tournament setting so far. People have really taken that and stretched it. I don't think anybody's coming back from it. But we see some really, really nice defense from Escape Velocity there. I think they just blocked 2-3 shots.
Absolutely. They are doing a phenomenal job making sure that they are not undefended here. We are on track again, but the defense is there. Nothing to worry about quite yet. Where's that next shot opportunity going to come from?
Ooh, beautiful header to get that to pop out of there. It touched the top. We didn't see anybody there for the follow-up.
Air work.
But you see some really, really nice offensive opportunities as well as defensive responses from both teams right now. That's definitely going to make for a great series.
We're seeing a lot of direct hits potentially that are being expertly blocked. But that means the first time we get somebody with an opening, it is guaranteed going to go in.
Oh, you saw him with the hit marker?
Crosshair.
Oh my gosh, this man's got finesse. I'm loving the theming. He let him know what's up. He's blowing him up. He's got 2 shots on the board, 2 goals on the board. And here we go, right back into another face-off. That's exciting. That's some exciting play to see.
Hit him with the orbital strike. I love it.
Man, let them know where they're at.
playing Rocket League with one controller and Call of Duty with another.
Man, I'm loving this teamwork coming from Escape Velocity. They're all moving as a cohesive unit. I've seen 3 of them in the goal. I've seen 3 of them in the other team's goal. You know, wherever they're at, they're moving together, and they have a like mind with that movement. I think that's what's given them the upper hand in this matchup against Regiment Team B thus far.
Like they're gonna go rolling. Once again at goal range. Here's gonna be bounce back and forth. Not quite on target to land though. Once again, Escape Velocity in range here. Potentially land another big hit once they get this turned around. But right now we're still on their end of the court, so we gotta play the defensive game, be precautious. You know, Regiment Team B is still hunting for their first set of points on the board. We had the 2-0, but things have been holding so steady at this range for so long. This doesn't feel like it has the same aggressive energy as some of our other matches that have gone that way.
Right, we're definitely dealing with 2 opponents that are very equal in skill and in the same heat. You know, nobody's shooting some crazy threes from the pocket, you know what I'm saying? We got both of them really feeling each other out, even though Escape Velocity has been able to find more opportunities, like JK for Shizzle in this opportunity there with the pass from Hitman.
Side IDL, beautiful deflect, but
yes,
a beautiful response as well. Z Campbell trying to go for the block there. It was just a little bit off kilter. Escape Velocity continues to build their lead. 1:34 seconds left on the clock, but still, we haven't seen that. Usually in these games, we see that like those first 2 come at a steady pace, and then the last is just an avalanche. It's just rolling down the hill with it. But here, things are still operating pretty calmly, suggesting Regiment Team B still has a solid chance to turn this back around.
We see them still getting these opportunities like that, though.
I did it again.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it to them. The Hitman lines up a perfect pass off the wall to JK for Shizzle. Again, we're seeing these 2 work in tandem. They're absolutely insane. We don't want to see that. You got to break these 2 up.
I did the splash zone.
When they're in your offensive zone. You do not want to see a nice pass from Hitman, JK for Shizzle flying off the wall. It's already happened twice, and it's opened up a crazy lead now, 4-0 in the first 4 minutes of match 1 for this semifinal.
Excellent tip there. That's beyond Hitman, who was a little bit too slow on the draw, trying to get the defense on that, and that puts Regiment Team B on to the board with a point. They just need 3 more to bring us into overtime. Let's not even think about trying to make up all the way into a lead right now. We have under a minute left.
Right, and we know that the games can get very explosive from this point. The last minute, you got a lot of people going full to the wall. It could be 7-1, it could be 4-4 before we know it. So let's definitely see how this matures. Let's see Mikey T hopefully get a bit more of those shots like that and a bit more setups where Regiment Team B is able to close that gap and make this a bit more of a stressful situation for Escape Velocity.
The side goes rolling there. Once again, we see beautiful mid-air control here. We are in range for somebody to swing by, hit a big shot. It just might be Campbell here, but defense is able to catch that and make sure it doesn't successfully go through.
Ooh, nice airplosion there from the Hitman getting exploded by Mikey T. He's getting hit his own side, but we got 10 seconds remaining to really pull something out for Regiment Team B. At least send the message for the next coming games that the momentum is on our side, and we're not going to let you escape with the velocity that you think you were coming in here with.
Very, very risky shot angles here. Taking advantage of that last second, just trying to do their best with it, but at the end of the day, we have our winners. This was another wild one, but it wasn't quite as one-sided as some of the other matches we've seen thus far. A 3-point margin is absolutely something to be proud of, and a good reason to have a lot of confidence in this team. We're seeing potentially a little bit more contentious a game ahead of us.
Yeah, Escape Velocity was not playing. They found some really unique opportunities early, got that lead opened up, and then from there just kept it stretched just enough. They were able to keep the pace. They were able to really dictate where the ball was moving, and unfortunately for Regiment Team B, that means they were not able to close up that lead, and it finished 4-1. Like you said, 3-point margin is nothing to scoff at with what we've been seeing in this tournament, though. I'm hoping to see them bring it back in this next game.
I think we have a very, very strong chance of that. We saw the resiliency all the way through. We saw them remain composed, again, under pressure. A lot of pressure to the very end, yet they were still putting down some pretty solid rotations. At no point did it become easy money to just take shots on them. And that kind of endurance means that we are very, very likely to see them put up some great games in the future and maintain those opportunities at the very least. They can turn on the gas a little bit harder here, all the better.
This one is a best of 5, like we mentioned earlier, so they have time. They have time to refuel. They have time to get their bearings and really get back to that place where we saw them before. Taking aggressive shots, getting some really nice passes off in their own offensive zones, as opposed to sitting on that back foot for a lot of the game and trying to come back from point deficits. So I'd like to see them open up with a lead and then put escape velocity on that back foot this game, see where we can get from there.
Absolutely. It's a tough endeavor to be sure, but we have seen such power and proficiency from all of our competitors here that this is no doubt, no matter who manages to come out on top, they're going to do so via some pretty wild and crazy plays. We have seen the endurance, the skill, and most importantly, as we have mentioned so many times here today, the coordination with one's team to make those things happen.
Right, and this is only the quality that can be brought to us by Nation's Finest, our sponsors today, and the Level Up Veterans Cup. We're really lucky to be in the midst of this Rocket League talent that we have brought out here today, and I'm excited as this game has been a minute and 15 seconds now of stalemate vibe checks. We got ourselves moving into a bit more shots as Mate is going for a shot.
This is a precautious one. This is another deviation from the energy we've had in a couple of our other matches here today, in which even for the winning side of things, is not quite as aggressive. This reminds me most of our first game,
right,
where we were hovering in that range. We were really respecting the opponent's threat level here, respecting the space, making sure that you are airtight as possible on your defense, keeping those rotations regular, well-oiled, smooth, synergistic, all those wonderful things.
And that's what Regiment Team B wants in the scenario. They don't want a slugfest. They don't want to gas themselves and then expose everything that they've got in their chamber so that escape velocity can get some crazy
shot like that, you mean?
Really, they just really had it open for a while. Even as Jacob Fashizzle missed the shot and ended up being a pass, Hitman was able to grab that pickup before Mikey T is able to get in the box.
Wild yet again, but that's 1 point on the board. We have 2 minutes 55 seconds on the clock. Nothing to be too shaken by just yet, so hopefully Regiment Team B continues to display some solid composure here.
Ooh, ideal. Picks up a crazy little 1-to-1 right there.
That's even better than solid composure. That's an immediate fire back.
Yeah,
nothing better for the morale than saying, oh yeah, I can do that too.
And an unforced error, really being able to just pick that up, and that's crucial to make these best of 5s really combative experience. Escape velocity needs to be checked when they make mistakes like that. They need to be checked when they're leaving their positions open. And Campbell gets the 2-1 lead when just as I'm talking about it.
The exact thing that you were mentioning on display there once again with Campbell coming through and tipping that by. Escape velocity just a little bit behind on the rotation.
Really smooth. They just had the speed on it, honestly. The escape velocity was there to get it out, but we just had our friend Campbell with just that much more speed, that much more boost, that much more fresher wheels to get there in the nick of time to capitalize on that goal.
Deflect there, goes rolling, and once again we are hovering that space around the opposite end. Regiment Team B up by a single point. But based on how, again, methodical this game has been, how slow and steady we've been on the gain, that's a lot. That margin is a lot beefier than it looks on paper right now.
Absolutely.
We might only see 1 more point get scored in this next 2 minutes, 4 seconds.
Yeah, these are not the same pace of the other games we've seen. Like I said, we're dealing with equally matched opposition. You can tell that they're really feeling each other out before they go for anything crazy and not leaving themselves too exposed. So Regiment Team B with the lead right now is very relevant. It's not just, oh, we still have 1 minute and 45 seconds. It could be that we end at a 2-1 scoreline with escape velocity not having been able to make up that margin.
Goes rolling there, an explosion and a tip as it goes sailing straight through. Beautiful connect.
Mikey T got the worst demolition there. Absolutely crucial for the pass to go off, and it was really expert, really well done. I'm speaking too soon. It's 2-2, quicker than I could imagine.
It certainly is, and who knows? Maybe we'll stay here the entire ride through and go into overtime, or maybe this will be where things truly start to pop off. Perhaps this is where everybody hits the nitrous and does their best to capitalize on the last few moments possible. Certainly, both are going to be hungry, knowing that they are just 1 more shot away from having that lead secured.
Especially because this next goal means so much for both teams. For Regiment Team B, they're getting the one scoreline with momentum. For Escape Velocity, they're getting to a match point. So it's really, really pivotal that they get this last minute to work for whatever their game plan is. Pull out whatever little play you've got on your last little pass, whatever it may be. Do something special to capitalize and get yourself that victor circle like Hitman is doing, bringing in the crosshairs.
Phenomenal hit yet again. Calculated play there. You can see a beautiful curve on that and just barely managed to get that angle.
So clean, man. You saw that the angle was covered too.
Exactly
and
what you need.
Grabs that outside of the goal, pinches it right in the corner there, and man, Regiment Team B is on the back foot in a really, really sad time because 45 seconds sits on the clock.
Up ahead again. Long cross court deflection there, turns into a shot, is ideal! Slides by and hits a twist and ties us back up yet again. Only 38 seconds left on the clock and we are tied.
Mikey T finds that pass and sits it perfectly in front of Ideal. Ideal's literally getting a time to just do like when you get to go into practice mode and they just shoot the balls at you and you just get a little time to just do your highlight reel, man. This guy, perfect pass from Mikey T. That was really crucial to bring ourselves now to 30 seconds left on the clock with 3-3 scoreline.
In the air again. Somebody needs to land something soon if they want to end this here and now. Otherwise, we're going into overtime. I'm not sure which is the more likely outcome at this point. I know nothing anymore, but certainly the destruction there leans a balance of power in one direction, but that is a pop-up mid-air. 10 seconds left now. Gonna be underneath the ball, unfortunately. Does not get the tip in here.
5 seconds left, and JK Fashizzle looks for a pass, but it's broken up. Pack it into the back line, and we have the longest second remaining.
That's midair.
We have Hitman in the sky.
You're gonna be able to sink it one
He's
last
looking
time.
to sink it, but
No, we are going into overtime.
is it a no, or I'm hyped to see what comes of this? Because now unlimited time. It could be 10 seconds. It could be 10 minutes. Who knows what we're in for? But I know it's gonna be some great Rocket League to get us there.
Oh my goodness, who knows what this is going to be, but certainly wild is going to be the descriptor because we have yet another example of just how narrowly matched these two are. This is truly a very, very different vibe than a lot of the games we have had thus far. Even the first game, which I compared them closest to, this is by far the more clutch interaction.
Yeah, it's like the Game 5 heated version of Game 1 that we saw.
Is it already over? It's not quite, just barely.
The margins of JK Fashizzle missing that shot were so minute, but nonetheless, this isn't horseshoes. Close isn't gonna count. They're looking to back it up. JK Fashizzle cleared out.
So close,
Cleared out.
By fractions of a fraction, these shots are off. But there's a lot of heat headed at Regiment Team B here. They are definitely on the defensive angle here. They got to do something to push that ball away from their own goal.
I'm loving seeing the aerial dance between two teams trying to contest at this blue side goal. But hopefully we can see Regiment Team break it up, bring it to that escape velocity side. But let's just say this last minute has been them having to be on their toes to make sure that they're not getting scored on.
Trying to line that up again for another goal shot, but not quite getting it. Regiment Team B excellent on the defense. There's an immense amount of pressure on them right now, but they are expertly deflecting every shot sent their way. But the problem is they're spending so much time doing that, they don't have enough time to set up their own shots. And escape velocity eventually cracks the case.
Absolutely crazy pass. Look at this setup that we got from JK Fashizzle, and our man mate is just quick to get in there, quick to capitalize on that error from the blocking. Everybody's up in the air. We needed somebody down there to contest that ground shot. Nonetheless, we had such a great example of what they could do, man. Our friends at Regiment Team B were pushed to the limit, but Velocity Esports, man, these guys are no joke. I'm really happy to see them come out with a win in that heated exchange, and I'm happy to have seen it so equally matched.
That was a wild one. We have now a great range of energies over the course of the day. We have had absolute fantastic blowouts, and we have had those down to the wire, couldn't get more narrow. That being said, the whole overtime, it was just like bouncing the ball against the one goal the entire time. It was a brutal defensive measure, paid off so well for so long, but they just never got that opportunity to turn it around and bring it to the other end of the court.
Relentless pressure. Relentless pressure that paid off dividends for Velocity. They now have a 2-0 score lead inside of this set, inside of this match. We're talking about a winner's semifinals here, so they're trying to solidify this game point moving forward. But nonetheless, I know that we have some fight back from Regiment Team B. A reverse sweep is possible. This is going to be a mentally draining game for the team coming up, but if they can push through this, they might find themselves in the nirvana that pushes them all the way through to 2 more wins.
Just might. We'll have to see here. Certainly there is not a lot of reason to be concerned about your favorite team, no matter who it is out here. They have both shown off so much, and clearly everybody has a clean shot at the victory in this one. And again, we are getting closer and closer to a finale here. We are getting really narrowing down our best of the best of the best.
Right, the people that are going to be in contention for that $450 of gift card prize money. And mate is absolutely just, and man, I don't know, mate, what are we dealing with here? A winner, that's what we're dealing with. Scores, absolutely insane. We're seeing some really nice Captain Clutch tag.
Captain Clutch,
oh man,
clean.
He knew what he was doing. He knew he was coming up for in his game 3.
Yeah. Certainly, that is a prophetic tag considering how the games have been thus far. That is clean with it here. Man. We have another attempt on the goal. Going through is just a bit too high.
Too far.
But again, that pressure.
Yes, that's the shots that you need to really get in Regiment Team B's head. They have been spending so much time shooting on their goal, on their terms. We need to see Regiment Team B take this back where they were getting those leads, where they were getting those early advantageous situations that were putting escape velocity on the answering side that brought us to that overtime. We haven't seen Regiment Team B do well from being behind yet. We've only seen them be able to be ahead. So let's see them take this back. That's the only way that we'll know that they're going to be able to get through this winter semifinals and that they can get to the grand finals and have a chance.
Certainly, as we see again, pressure being applied. We're operating a little bit more reasonable range here, but going for a shot long distance that will sail through. I was just about to talk about us take a step back, not being too heavy on the goals for a minute. And what do we see? A meteor coming in from around the rings of Saturn.
Whew. That was like Emin and Mouse type shots that we got to see earlier. You know what I'm saying? Some real wall bangers. Absolutely insane. That's the kind of way you get 1-1 on your scoreline. That's the kind of way that you tell Escape Velocity, hey, we're still in this. You're not taking no victory cake home early. We want that prize money in the gift cards just as much as you.
We are just as hungry. You are going to have to fight me for that win. You will have to fight me. There is no walking away with this by any means, as if that last match wasn't evidence enough of that, considering how grueling it was. A true war between these two, going back and forth the whole way. Again, not a bomb fest. It was a lot more precautious, but it was still tactical action, plays and counterplays, minute by minute, second after second, on such a high detailed level that you know it's draining energy.
Right, especially when you have so many of these shots that you're having to be in the air to block. You're fully committed to being in the air. The ball's going down quick and you're still in the air. You have an opportunity to get scored on. The fact that they have evaded a lot of these opportunities and continue to clear it out and bring the score to 1-1 speaks very well for how this series could end up maturing for Regiment Team B. But Escape Velocity, you know how they do. They're definitely going to have way more scoring opportunities. They are really good in that offensive zone and apply a lot of pressure. So let's see, as this neutral zone gets worked out, what kind of recipe we have brewing in front of us.
Once again, hovering mid-range here. Eternally in danger of a shot being made from deep, but we are also seeing that afford both teams a lot of opportunity to try and maintain that defensive line. Regiment Team B has been clean with it so far in examples like that, but a lot of pressure from Escape Velocity right at the same time shows off just how hard they are working to keep themselves protected here.
Goalie Mikey T, is that 3 times I've seen his tag up there? We've got 4 saves and 4 shots. Like, this is the Escape Velocity, and JK Fashizzle finds a crazy shot at the top of the goal.
Excellent plays from the deep there.
A laser precision with that.
In.
And a quick splash. Just to end it off, man. Oh, wow. That 2-1 is going to bode very heavily on the Regiment Team B side. They've already been getting a lot of offensive pressure. They've already had to try to break away from that, but they're getting a breakaway here with Mikey T. Maybe he can get a pass out while they're on this side and hopefully get that 2-2 scoreline to pop in.
Fantastic work being done all round. As we kept going once again long over to the side, bounce back.
This is that high caliber gameplay opening up. You see the ball is not spending time on the ground. This is when I personally in Rocket League have to bow out.
This is my limit. That's sliding through, but it's deflected before it can go out again. Hitting those side angles, you can spend a lot of time. It takes a long time for that ball to actually be considered a goal when you're hitting that slant from the side. It can be an agonizing thing to watch.
Right, you think you have that shot so perfectly angled, and then unfortunately, it's enough time for
that's a destruction.
Like
He's open.
Escape velocity to go in. JK for Shizzle to get the 3-1 and really put the heat on in this last 30 seconds on Regiment Team B.
Beautiful plays. And once that destruction came through, he was absolutely all alone there.
How many times have we seen that now? They get some really calculated destructions when they're on these runs. Calculated destructions before passes that have matriculated into insane opportunities for them. Game-winning opportunities, honestly. Look, they're now 3-1 in their winners semifinal with Game 3 being in their pocket. They'll be advancing to the winners finals that we have coming up next.
Absolutely incredible work here. Escape Velocity may have just won themselves this game with 10 seconds left now. Regiment Team B, unfortunately, has just too little time for multiple shots to be made here. That last second, the longest second passing through, won't be long enough.
Truly a GG. I don't feel like anybody can be upset in this game. We saw just a really great example of what two equally matched teams in this tournament can bring to the table. We saw Regiment Team B doing some really nice defensive work in that last moment, but unfortunately Escape Velocity came out with it and they're really capitalized on that 3-0 victory. They're feeling good moving into that grand finals.
And I'm feeling pretty good about this game, so much so that I want to see some highlights. I want to look back on this again. Can we get some replays on some of the wild things that we've seen here? Things like this. Look at the precision that the Hitman brought to the table here time and time again, especially in those early matches.
Right, he set the pace early and then he skated to the back while his friends JK for Shizzle really took forward and started doing some crazy stuff. Don't get me wrong, Mikey T was doing great scores. We saw Campbell also doing some insane score from far away, but it was not enough to escape the velocity that was coming at them. Ideal, I remember getting that really nice setup and capitalizing on it, but it was unfortunate to see that they were getting destroyed so often before these shot opportunities that Escape Velocity was able to find.
Utilizing that high-speed plays to really clear the field to settle those opportunities really appears to be their specialty, and one that paid off big time for them. Those tactical destructions really feel like Escape Velocity's strongest weapon, and something we're going to have to keep a close eye out for moving ahead. All your synergy, all your rotations, it's not going to do you any good if they're able to get a destruction at just the right time, because you're going to be down a man.
The gas, the angles, the boost, all this matters so much. Your speed, it's really showing the calculation from Escape Velocity. And you see shots like that from JK for Shizzle as well. You know these are accurate gamers that are willing to take some really nice shots in order to secure victory. So I'm excited to see them in the grand finals. That was a really exciting game.
I'm excited as well. This is shaped up into something truly special. We have been here talking so much about Nation's Finest, so much about this incredible cause we are working towards, all the families and veterans that have been helped when it comes to substance abuse counseling, when it comes to housing assistance, employment assistance, all these fantastic things that it also bears mentioning how well the gameplay has been start to finish here.
Right. And it is so nice, like you said, to be here with Nation's Finest here at the Level Up Veterans Cup. We even have a special interview segment that we get to cut to from them. If you're a veteran and you need help or you're looking to help veterans, don't forget to please follow up with them on nationsfinest.org or nationsfinest.kindful.com. These are ways you can find opportunities to really get connected with this amazing opportunity, and they are just really doing stuff with thousands of people as they're celebrating their 50 years. So let's see what they have for us in this interview.
Hello, everyone. My name is Trevor Thompson. I'm the Assistant Site Director at Santa Rosa. And I just want to say thank you very much to all the participants and anybody who's watching, viewing, donating, etc. When I left the Marine Corps in 2016, one of the best ways for me and my friends to stay connected was through video games. So the goal here tonight is for everybody to have fun, hopefully raise some money for our organization, Nation's Finest, which helps house homeless veterans and connect them to services such as case management, behavioral health centers, and etc. So please follow the links below, the website below, call the number. If you're a veteran in need, please call 1-833-468-9676 and get in contact with one of our folks so you can get the help that you need.
And welcome back to the Nation's Finest Level Up Veterans Cup. I hope that you enjoyed that message from our sponsors. I know I did, and I know I'm really looking forward to getting into the next the games that we have coming up. These are going to be some of the best ones. We got the grand finals coming up, as well as our losers finals, I believe, will be coming up too. But these have really been some great games. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever the games have coming up. But while we still have your time here, don't forget to show your support for Nation's Finest at either nationsfinest.kindful.com or nationsfinest.org. This is going to be an amazing place to find more resources that Nation's Finest is working on, as well as show your support for them in their future endeavors.
They've helped over 7,000 veterans so far as they prepare to celebrate their 50th year anniversary doing this for veterans and their families. And if you want to be part of the next 7,000 of the next 50 years, then get out there. You can donate, you can volunteer, you can do so many things that are going to have a real meaningful change in the lives of our servicemen and women that have given so much already.
Right, it's so special to see sponsors that are focusing gaming, that are really making gaming and a connection that happens through it as a forefront of their mental health message. And it makes me excited to get us into this next bracket that we see, where we see who is coming up for a grand finals match, as well as who's placing into that losers bracket for later on. So it looks like Escape Velocity versus Short Circuit Gaming is gonna be our winners final, as well as the losers quarter coming up there.
You got Regiment Team B and Brigade going head-to-head, and Lakeland University Esports going up against Regiment. This is a wild thing to look at. You told me that we were going to see Lakeland University Esports in losers quarterfinal, and at a point when we saw what happened in that first game, I would have called you crazy.
Right.
But they still have a chance here to shoot back through, once again going up against Regiment Team B, another team that we have seen such strong work for, if they can get through that far.
We've easily seen that Lakeland is our most explosive team with a lead. They had the biggest game deficit of any of the teams that have been on so far, but they definitely just got a little bit outpaced in their match, unfortunately, against Short Circuit. And to see Short Circuit Gaming versus Velocity is definitely gonna be a banger of a game, possibly a best of 5, game 5, overtime situation where we're really getting to see two teams swinging at the fences with everything that they've got.
It almost makes you wonder, is it better to be in loser's bracket in this kind of situation? To be able to just cut out of the heat, oh boy, I don't want to be a part of that.
Hey, if you can't take the
let
heat,
me come through later on.
Get out the kitchen. But that prize difference in the gift cards from third to second definitely shows, that difference in that pressure that you get to see. So we'll see what happens in our third place matches, but that first and second place deciding experience is going to be really, really crazy to watch.
And we are absolutely going to be seeing, no matter who manages to make it through all the way to the number 1 spot, clearly 1 through 3 are all going to be very well populated. I feel like we could take a look at all of these competitors and do a very, very good job of saying, all right, this looks like a 1, 2, 3 situation, which is, for those of you who may have forgotten, since it's been a minute since we mentioned, first place is walking away with $400 $250, second with $225, and third with $75 in gift card money.
Right.
That is some solid work.
Thank you so much to Nation's Finest for sponsoring this level of Veterans Gift, for sponsoring these gift card prizes. This is not stuff that you need to do. This is not stuff the gamers are even expecting. They'd be playing Rocket League at home anyway. But it's just so amazing to see the incentive and the outreach that Nation's Finest is bringing to this event, and that Nation's Finest continues to bring to all the lives of those that are impacted by their outreach.
It has been a really, really meaningful and wonderful 50 years so far for Nation's Finest. And like I keep saying, and like I'm sure all of us are working towards, whether you're donating, whether you're volunteering, or whether you're promoting events like these, sharing it with friends who are not only hyped for Rocket League, of course, but also love a good cause, you are helping contribute to another family, another individual, getting whatever help that they need to take that next step in life.
Right. And hopefully we will be taking our next steps into some crazy Rocket League gameplay soon, because I'm really fired up. We got to see an amazing game last game, but we have the winners final coming up between Escape Velocity and Short Circuit Gaming. So what are your predictions? What are some things that you want to see happen to see one team have an advantage over the other? Because we know these teams bring a huge amount of pros to the table. What are some cons that you could see somebody sliding in the chinks in the armor?
I gotta give it real with you, Austin. At this point, I've been so thoroughly baffled by everything that has gone through that it has really shaken the very foundations upon which I make these assessments. The floor has been taken out from beneath me a little bit by what we're seeing go through.
Right.
Everything I know is wrong, and yet, I will say this. I will say that we have seen time and time again now that the emphasis on the aggression, that somebody able to capitalize that momentum, pays off so well here. Once you're able to take control of the pace of the game, once you decide the rate at which these possessions go, it gives you an immense amount of power over your opponent. Someone able to really dictate the pace, and that's a complicated thing. It sounds easy, just decide how quick the possessions are. That's a very difficult thing to do.
Right.
It involves not only being able to make sure that your own players are efficient and consistent when it comes to how much time it takes to get up court, get things connected. It also means that you're putting so much pressure on your opponent when you're on the defense end of things, they either need to end it quickly or they lose the ball.
Right, at the end of the day, when you're equally matched like that, it comes to the finesse. You see how we had Velocity Esports really able to just bring some crazy opportunities that broke out those overtime situations, that broke out those even score lines. You mentioned nobody's really come back today. Everybody that has won has gotten a lead and continued to maintain the lead, or taken it back when it was contested from them. So I definitely want to see something a bit more of resilience. I know resilience is a word we've used a lot to describe the teams today, but bringing it to that next level of taking back power and moving momentum towards your victory, even if you're 2-3 points behind.
Absolutely, and we've seen beforehand how resilient they can be, and we have seen people successfully push off of the back foot, get themselves into a better spot, and show that even once again you start up back against the wall, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole game is going to be sliding against you. Right. As much as we have had big block games where that first step ahead can be a great help in getting you through to a win, there's opportunity for a victory in any kind of a spot here.
Right. That redirect in the midfield, that quick one-to-one off the wall that somebody's able to get inside of the nooks and crannies you weren't really anticipating, shifts that momentum, and all of a sudden you got yourself a nice snowball rolling down that mountain. I hope that we're gonna get to see shifting powers happening in this next best of 5. I know that we have a great match ahead of us, but I don't want to take a moment to forget to shout out our sponsors, Nation's Finest. For anybody just now tuning in, the opportunity that Nation's Finest is providing for veterans and their communities is honestly boundless. It ranges between mental health, housing opportunities, rehabilitation opportunities. These are things that are getting people back healthy into the world, and you can show support for them at nationsfinest.kindful.com, or even head over to nationsfinest.org in order to learn more about these opportunities as well as support them.
They are helping us out by utilizing gaming, a wonderful, wonderful platform to bring communities and bring people together across vast distances, which applies to folks like us, and of course, it applies to our veterans as well. And so please return that kindness, paying that forward by supporting someone else in need, and by continuing to promote this to other folks who you know are going to love Rocket League, and of course, are going to be just as compassionate as you when it comes to helping support our veterans.
Right. Thank you so much to all the veterans. Honestly, we're so lucky to get a platform to get to support them, and I hope that everybody here right now takes a moment to understand the platform Nation's Finest is giving both to gaming and to veterans through this. But yeah, Velocity Esports coming up, as well as the Nation's Finest video is going to be coming up even before that. So let's cut to that. Let's see what's going on as our gamers get ready to get into that grand final.
Hi, this is Alfred Molina on behalf of Nation's Finest. Nation's Finest is a non-profit that's been dedicated to helping military veterans since 1972, when a group of returning Vietnam veterans created an organization to help fellow veterans and their families. They understood the unique set of challenges veterans face when returning home. Because to a veteran, home isn't just a place, it's an idea, a feeling. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in 14 communities in California, Arizona, and Nevada, where every year we help thousands of veterans build happy, healthy, and purposeful lives. And we're expanding to keep pace with the ever-evolving needs of the veteran community. To learn how you can help us support veterans in need of housing, case management, mental health counseling, employment services, and more, visit nationsfinest.org or call 833-GOT-YOUR-6. That's 833-468-9676.
Welcome back once again. We are diving right back into things. We have so much more of our Rocket League tournament ahead. I am so hyped for it because already so far today we have lost our voices countless times, and no doubt we're going to be doing that countless more. It is the Level Up Veterans Cup back again as we sail further and further towards that grand final, towards that prize money, but we still have a couple of places in those great final moments left undecided. We're not quite sure what that lineup is going to look like yet, but we do know it's going to feature some incredibly skilled teams.
Right, we saw the brackets been really mixed up from maybe our original ideas of what things might turn out to be, but we did know that there were people further in that bracket for Lakeland to deal with, and we saw them actually meet their match and get placed down into the losers bracket. The grand final that we have coming up is going to definitely be a banger, and then not only that, we have the journey coming all the way back up for the people to be going for that placement of second and third. So really exciting stuff we have. Like you said, plenty more. Don't move, don't go anywhere except for maybe to grab some water, because don't forget to stay hydrated.
Certainly you're gonna need to get the energy up in this. But if you are in these brief moments, if you want to, pull up a laptop, pull out your phone, head on over to nationsfinest.org or nationsfinest.kindful.com. You want to see some ways you might be doing some support. You can schedule yourself some volunteering or through a quick donation. The way of Nation's Finest help support our nation's veterans. That you can do, certainly. You won't miss anything as long as you're under the power of my voice. Remember, once you hear me starting to get louder than I am right now. I know I alternate sometimes, but once you hear the volume start to pick up, then kindly redirect your attention back to what we're doing here.
Caleb got options.
Caleb got options.
Caleb's letting us know he's got layers.
I have a broken volume scale, but there is still a thing that you can just see it just start to slide every so often. If you ever had that thing where it's like a drifting controller.
Right.
When you got the thumbstick, like sometimes it's fine. Every so often you're just
off of it.
Yeah, sometimes you're just, and if I just let it go, I'm just sliding to the left.
No, I couldn't say I see you slide to the left. I've seen a few defenders sliding into the left in the wrong way, you know what I'm saying, as they're getting some crazy shots, really calculated shots that we've been seeing today, passing through them. But I think we're going to be getting into the losers quarterfinals first before we head into that grand final. So what do you think these people in the losers quarterfinal, but not say losers, these people in the losers quarterfinals need to do to show that they really want to be on that pedestal?
I mean, honestly, the teams in the loser quarterfinals are still wild, so I feel like just showing out is going to be a good start. Certainly putting up 3 points with 2 minutes left on the clock is a great way, I feel, to show that you still have that resiliency, that underdog spirit to fight your way through the bracket and get back into grand finals.
I'm not sure what we missed with Brigade, but they popped off.
Certainly, we haven't seen a lot of them thus far. So in case you were wondering, allow them to introduce themselves. 3 points.
Honestly, these people are on the scoreboard. There's only 2 minutes left to go in this first bout against these 2 teams. Unfortunately, we missed whatever developed before this, but I know that Brigade was honestly probably showing some really, really nice offensive maneuvering, and it seems that they've been doing great defense as well, because Regiment Team B has yet to score on them.
Already, we can tell the Regiment Team B is on the back foot here, but like we just discussed, being able to fire back from that back foot is a pivotal skill set to have, especially when you get shots like that.
Swishy finds a nasty angle on that midfield floater, dude. It's so slick how he slides in there and is able to grab that 4th point on the board for the Brigade squad.
Mixing sports metaphors a little bit here, nothing but net, the swish. Clean, beautiful music in motion. We are seeing another shot get lined up there, nearly another one going through right after, and we turn nearly into reality with Trizzle 24.
Hello? Yeah, the man's got a family. You ain't got to pick it up like that on him, Trizzle.
My God, that man has a family.
Wowza. It gets a crazy pop on that. It's going 110 kilometers per hour. You got to use your ultra instinct to already know the man was doing that an hour ago to put yourself in the right spot for that.
Right. I coordinated my position 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, forget your time skip.
So it's just what it feels like coming into this game with a time skip. Like we're already, an instant has passed.
Yes, but for the best reason. We have already seen why they've gotten that lead. The 2 points that we've seen them grab thus far, honestly, some real heat pack behind that.
My God, we have had a lot of discussion over the course of the day about coming in top form, and already this game is about to end. We are about to see the first of our first of 3 come through. Absolutely. I'm just going to say, mathematically speaking, I don't think Regiment Team B is taking this one. I do believe, and I become more right with every sentence I say. The more the sentence runs on, the more correct I am that 5 points aren't happening for Regiment Team B.
Well, I do deduce that your calculations are correct. Unfortunately, it looks like Brigade's going to be the one to grab a point with the end of that. It's crazy. It looks like the score says 60,000, but no, that's just 6-0 on the clock, and then also, unfortunately, a 0 for Regiment Team B. Brigade came out guns a-blazing and swishy. I know we've seen what the man was doing in our small moment of exposure with him. Yeah, the man, easily the player of the game on that one. It's really insane angles, and wow, 3 points before and after we were able to jump in. So these guys are not messing with the speed.
It was a lot to see in action, glorious to watch go down, and now we sail further ahead to see what more they can do. Already, clearly Brigade has let us know that they are, despite not being quite as seen as often, they are a sleeper hit. There is some unforeseen capability on this player's side that is going to make them a very dangerous threat, no doubt, going on here.
What I liked is there was nothing flashy. It was nothing like, oh, look at Aviator flying through the sky for an hour. There was no like crazy passes. It was just heat pack shots in the pocket, looking for some wins. So let's see what Brigade can do to really open that up again if they can, or let's see how Regiment Team B responds to having absorbed that pressure for the past 5 minutes and not getting anything really on the scoreboard.
Right. It is interesting, I'll say, to hear you say that, considering you were most certainly Aviator's biggest fan of that last match, which I say as Aviator's second biggest fan in that last match. Because those were pretty clean, I'm not going to lie, but I absolutely feel what you're saying here, where we're again looking at those technical, those very high skills, those very precise, get in and out, do what needs to be done kind of plays that show such a high level of, again, well-practiced skill.
Right. It's really nice to see a new team getting that really smooth transition into points, and you see a really nice pass from Swishy into Trizzle that got him feeling right. That's a nice little bank over everybody. Ideal was wanting it, but unfortunately it's not attainable.
Is it happening here? Are we seeing another game slide into their favor, or will Regiment Team B be able to get onto a better foot here?
I think that we definitely have our game forming where we see Brigade get that 3-0, but we know Regiment Team B has not been light on the counter pressure, you know what I'm saying? They're really smooth with their energy. They're really able to take whatever's happening and get it back into their court. So I really hope that we do get more opportunities like that, but Good Neighbor gets the pass from Swishy. You can't be mad at that. That's so smooth.
So clean, so smooth, so fresh, so clean. Once again, putting through excellent work, showing that Brigade is absolutely a lethal threat and force here.
Right, and here we go right back into a face-off. The neutral zone has not been a friend to Regiment Team B thus far, and Swishy is just doing some acrobatics, placing up a pass, but unfortunately it was not going anywhere. Mikey T was definitely a name we were shouting earlier that we haven't gotten to shout.
Long distance with Good Neighbors in position, and Swishy. Well defended there, unfortunately, because I was definitely on target.
Right, there's been a few shots now that we see coming out from Regiment Team B that do need to be respected, and they're getting their due treatment, and Brigade is still able to keep them off the scoreboard.
Let's turn back around. Dangerous prospect here. You can see Good Neighbor lining up a shot. Perfect pop-up, and he's getting mid-air to try and direct it in, but there's Mikey T with the defense, but there's Trizzle24 with the counter shot. He's a little bit off, though, needs one more teammate behind him, but unfortunately no one is in the right spot in rotation to pick that up. We are back into neutral territory.
Just up a little high on that, and he's not able to capitalize it into the goal, but Good Neighbor's got a crazy wall pass going on. He's looking for the follow-up from his team, but the angles are not there. Oh, the trigonometry in the air, I can't solve it. I'm not mad at them for being off the mark this time. We've seen them go in on these shots time and time again. Swishy was looking to follow up on that, but it's perfectly cleared out by Mikey T.
Mid-air, sailing drop happening, and that is once again heat-seeking, but they managed to defend against it.
Somebody took a note out of Hitman's with these crosshair fire, just where Brigade is not playing. They're looking for nothing but nets, looking for absolute destruction, but not of the vehicles. They're looking to destroy everybody's car as they get their goals and their animations of getting those. We'll see what happens as they've got another offensive opportunity here, spending a lot of time on Regiment Team B's side through these past 3 minutes.
Sailing by, pop up there, goes rolling. Not quite able to make it through to the goal, though, unfortunately. A little slightly off at the minute 45 on the clock here. This is another game that appears to be on the slightly more moderate end of things when it comes to raw point game, but certainly the intensity has been nice and high start to finish.
Right, and they had the open opportunity there, but unfortunately is just broken up. It's not really looking like they're able to find many fruitful opportunities here. On the blue side goal, they're just so quick to have multiple members at the net, guarding high, guarding low. There's not really great options for Regiment when there's only one person that has the scoring opportunity. They need people to pass it to. They need a bit more coordination maybe to break up this Brigade onslaught of defense, because they're looking for shots even through the time that they've spent on their own side.
Certainly. There's a lot of difficulty ahead of them here trying to get a steady flow that will allow them to fire back against Regiment Team B, but they don't need very many shots to bring this back into contestable range. They need to bring us into overtime, and then they can really take their time on lining up one more to try and take the win. The path to victory is still there for Regiment Team B.
Really, really nice closing minute we see here. People are turning up the gas. I see more and more boosts being used, more and more airtime coming in. 30 seconds left on the clock. And I really want to see Regiment Team B take this opportunity right here. Ideal's got the ball, but instantly, right with the offensive opportunity, is destroyed, getting no chance to play. Reset back to their own goal.
We're circling around again. Over to the side, that's going to be tossed up from afar, and bobs through. Trizzle24 managing to throw another on that absolutely gives them the game. 9 seconds left. There's not enough time for 3 shots in response, unfortunately. That is going to be their game.
Yeah, that was huge, huge, huge to really just solidify. This is our series. We are trying to move forward in the loser's bracket, and we are not taking no for an answer. I really like to see that there's a bit more resilience from this Brigade team, even as they are taking the time in the losers bracket to flex and show that they're still hungry and that they're looking to grab some of those gift cash prizes. Thankful courtesy of Nation's Finest and the Level Up Veterans Cup.
Is again not just great to show off in that kind of a range, to show what you're capable of, but it's also good for your own morale. You're in losers bracket. It can be a bit of you're like, God dang it, I wanted to sail right through ahead. Sometimes it's a strategy you go for. Again, sometimes they say it's better to go through that and then swing back around to whoever's going to be fighting in winter. So there's a lot of reasons to be not too down and out about it, but taking these opportunities to show off your core competencies, to really hammer home what your strengths are. And keep in mind, you're in it for the long haul. You are going to have to fight against increasingly arduous circumstances moving further ahead. So you want those skills to be razor sharp. You want to be shooting as hard as you can to the very end, because at the end of the day, without using up all your stamina in one go,
right,
you can't allow yourself to slip into anything other than a fully optimized mindset.
Right. And as we get into highlights, it definitely bears without mentioning that you need to mention that it is a fine line to tread between gassing too much or solidifying your skills through that losers bracket. So I'd love to see teams hone in what their strengths are. I'd love to see the strengths of our team Brigade in this last bout that they've had against Regiment Team B. They were scoring quick and they were scoring hard.
Well, we have a lot of really great things ahead, but we do have the unfortunate news that Escape Velocity does have to forfeit due to some technical difficulties here.
Okay.
And that takes quite a turn on our predictions for things moving ahead. We saw some spectacular things. Again, thank you to Escape Velocity for coming through and doing a lot of work, because again, this is all for Nation's Finest and for our veterans around the world, so they are still contributing a lot to helping out our cause. This opens up, however, a lot of different conversations for us to have in regards to what this final 3 is going to look like.
Right. Thank you, like you said, to Escape Velocity. They showed us amazing offensive capabilities and defensive Rocket League capabilities today. I was so thankful to have them come out, and I'm really excited now to see Brigade possibly get an option, to not have to deal with the enemy that tough and get options to go further in this tournament, because with what they just showed in the last match, they definitely have what it takes to give contention to any of these top teams in here.
It's gonna be a wild ride for sure. I have seen so many great things from everybody on display here thus far that once again we can be confident that no matter who makes it through to the final match, our literal grand finale, it's going to be a wild one. We are set up for so many different branching paths, all that lead to something crazy.
Right.
And all of which lead to me peeking my microphone again. All of which leads to some great gaming. But I don't know, out of the crop that we have still looking ahead, is there anyone in particular that you really feel like that's got to be one of our final spots?
I'm gonna be honest, I had my final thoughts as Escape Velocity, but we can't forget our friends Aviator. We can't forget our friends that were showing some really talent and promise through the bracket earlier. I definitely think that we have some great talent in the pool. I'd like to see more, as they know that people have had to leave for certain issues or whatever, where their mental state is at and what they want to bring to the table moving forward, as opposed to what they've done previously. I'm not too sure who I can recollect on, but I know that we can move into an amazing interview from our sponsors over at Nation's Finest, a great interview video from them. So you guys take it away.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful tournament here at Rocket League. I want to give a big shout out to all our veteran communities. My name is Brian Goff. I'm the advisor of the board of directors for military and veteran gamers. And our motto in serving our community is healing through gaming. As you guys already know, mostly if you're watching this tournament already, you guys know the importance of the connectability of the esports genre, gaming in general. What we do at military and veteran gamers, and in conjunction with Nation's Finest, we're trying to reach out to veterans in need. Part of what we do, we use that platform of gaming to give veterans who have given countless hours, countless years, countless time of their life serving our country, and exiting that service isn't always easy. There's a disconnect between veterans with hardship, those that have known one environment for a long period of time, and they feel that there's a void in social distancing and their ability to connect with other individuals. as esports continues to grow, as our ability to stay connected electronically continues to have more and more capabilities, MVG and Nation's Finest has partnered together to offer a way to reach out to those communities. MVG is the Discord veteran community. We have a partnership right now with Discord and Streamlabs Charity. We are an official 501c3 nonprofit charity that specializes in giving that support, but our primary means, in keeping with our motto of healing through gaming, is doing that through esports, gaming, PC gaming, console gaming, every facet of it. I just wanted to give a big shout out to those that are in the community. If you've served past or present, just know that here at MVG and in Nation's Finest, we're looking for any opportunity that we can to serve you. Feel free to reach out to any one of us, any of our staff members, our team members, anybody within the community. We surround ourselves with those that truly have a altruistic sort of approach to giving back. And it makes it easy because we were the demographic. 2019, we started a core group of us that kind of breathed life into this idea of how do we give back to those that we most aptly connect with. And it was easy to understand what they needed because we were the ones wearing that suit. We were the ones making that transition. We were the ones experiencing that hardship. We know how you feel. We're here to help. We're here to serve you guys. MVG is partnering with Nation's Finest to make sure that we have as many resources available to give back to that community. So enjoy the rest of the tournament. Give a big shout out to all you guys who have served past and present. And thank you very much.
And welcome back to our friends at Nation's Finest hosting the Level Up Veterans Cup. Thank you so much for that message. They're so excited to be here with my friend Caleb Browner and me, myself, Austin Champion. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. We're moving forward now in the bracket. We've just had an amazing showing from Brigade in their last match versus Regiment Team B. And they're moving forward into some pretty cool opposition. I'm really excited to see how this bracket heats up.
It's already so warm. I'm not sure how much hotter things can get before we literally start to melt out here. This has been, I really am at a loss for words, which is bad because it's my job to have words. So I'm gonna do my best, but this has been crazy so far. In ways that continue to confound, ways that continue to surprise me as we go through. This has not been a tale with a very linear path going forward. We had a lot of twists and turns. We have seen people display a lot of unexpected degrees of talent and prowess in great situations on the back foot. We've seen somebody start off phenomenal and have somebody else come through and put up an incredible game against them. Just about any kind of like unexpected twist you could think of in advance, we have had go through, and yet we're not done.
Yeah, as well as an unexpected loss of one of our people in the winner's bracket. Let's bring that bracket up as we see what's going to be moving forward for us. Escape Velocity did have to disconnect, unfortunately, for some technical issues. So Short Circuit Gaming is getting to jump into that final. But we see Brigade versus Regiment coming into the losers semifinal, and they're going to be going against Escape Velocity, or actually getting a free pass against Escape Velocity then to move on versus our grand final game against Circuit Gaming.
This is going to be crazy to watch in action. I am baffled again, just looking at what we have on deck, understanding what we have been through today, and appreciating how many moments in which we have. I feel like we can say both of us. Normally I take this blame onto myself, but I feel like both of us have given our audio folks some challenges to work with in terms of making sure that this is just a sonically manageable stream. How are you feeling about our final set of teams?
Well, when you have Caleb and you got the champ next to each other, get the compressors ready. That's all I gotta say.
Keep your hand on the monitor.
We're hitting them limits.
Turn that game down, please.
But I'm definitely excited to see more from Short Circuit Gaming. We only really got to see one match from them, right? It was really, really one-sided. They did an amazing job keeping that tempo up and keeping it in their court. I want to see how they do moving forward, and I also want to see how Brigade gets to do against our friends at Regiment, because that's definitely set to be a really, really strenuous experience for the two of them, testing each other to the limits.
It's a wild thing to watch in action. I'm very hyped for that. Even hearing you describe it, especially, that is, ooh boy. Yeah. We've got some prospects ahead, and I gotta say, I really do not feel like there's any one team left on the board who can say, oh yeah, they're gonna win by any means.
Definitely. We have between the 3 matches that we have left, we could get into 15 games altogether. So let's, definitely bunker down. Let's get ready for ourselves to have a really nice experience with this starting out with Regiment and Brigade. Brigade seems to be the ones looking to get some offensive positioning, and they're sitting in the Regiment side pretty nice, but it just now gets cleared out by our friend, Disgruntled Vet.
We are seeing some beautiful plays already. Mid-air management leading to our first to score thanks to Good Neighbor.
Brigade is so clean with finding these insane pass opportunities. Good Neighbor just slightly taps the lob and just keeps it going as Trizzle gets to bounce that to him. So I'm excited. They're doing some crazy stuff already. Got some really nice open passes in the midfield. Let's see what else they've got coming out so they can keep warming up for this grand final that they're possibly getting themselves into.
Excellent, excellent. Monitoring of that neutral space on display. And again, the destruction there could be big, but we're being pushed onto the other end of things.
Couldn't quite find the angle there. He's still looking for it, but fortunately gets cleared out from that Regiment side. We see Swishy looking for a crazy redirect. We got a nice backboard. Can he follow it up with the shot? Unfortunately not, and his team was there, but it gets broken up. Disgruntled Vet is getting that hopefully cleared out, but Trizzle's just keeping the pressure on. They're not looking to get this cleared out at all. Good Neighbor falling down now.
Once again, we are climbing the sides there. Trying for the tip, not quite getting it, with another shot going haywire. Gonna try and angle it at the very least towards goal.
Yeah, the time spent on this blue side of the field is definitely adding up. We're already 2 minutes past the time going into the game, and we got 2 points on the game for Brigade. So it's kind of crazy. They're getting this pace right exactly how they like it, getting a nice lead, and we've seen this tournament, pace and lead wins games.
Absolutely. And it might win Brigade another one here. We've already seen them do some work that looks a lot like this. We've already seen some wins that sort of rhyme with the game we are getting so far.
Well, we even saw them do this without seeing them do this. We saw them do it.
We know what happened. It's on record, even if not before our very eyes.
Man, this team is definitely not one to rest on their laurels. They take shots that matter, and they're reaping the rewards of that. They're 2-0. The 2 minutes now is actually passed. It's 3 minutes and 13 seconds left on that game clock. And Dr. Disgruntled Vet, I wish, maybe he is a doctor. Who knows what this man's in his real life. He's definitely trying to suture up some of these shots that he's got going on and get himself onto that Brigade side of the field, but it's not happening. Good Neighbor takes a shot. It gets followed up by Trizzle. Ooh! And Henny Season gets a beautiful clear out on that.
Rotating back around there. That shot going a little wide. Not quite on target to hit, unfortunately.
It's really nice to see Brigade getting a little bit of pressure put onto them, but instantly they just bring it back, and now it's a 3-0 lead, just like we started with on the other series that we've seen them in. Brigade is not playing. They do not take any pace on their heels. They're always being proactive about this, and I'm really enjoying watching.
Certainly. If there's one thing that has been a consistent through line with all the crazy different kinds of games, all the crazy energies, the completely unexpected circumstances we have come through, it's been a ball to watch the entire time.
Honestly, man. They since we've been introduced to them, they haven't been scored on.
So they have not. Oh my, that is a terrifying sentence you just said. That haunts me, what you just said.
So, the Brigade is solid. We'll give them that. And just as we say that, they clean up another offensive opportunity and get a 4-0 lead in this first game of the loser semifinal.
This is incredible. And now, I bet now all of you at home watching are hyper-focused, waiting to see whether the regiment will be able to get a point onto the board. Now you're really leaning, you're like, dang, they haven't been scored on yet.
Yeah, somebody please stop the madness that is this, 10-0 run of Brigade scoring on their opposition. These people are not playing any games.
It could happen. It could happen.
Absolutely solid. I'd love to see Regiment getting a bit more in the pocket, but as we say that, Good Neighbor gets a pass from Trizzle that just can't be answered. It's laser.
Not with the destruction in play that are on the other side. There is simply no way to deflect that.
Yeah, I'm feeling disgruntled for Disgruntled Vet as he watches that explosion happen, and he's just not in the defensive position that he wishes he could be in to stop that. Good neighbor, slow down.
Oh my God, we just came back off of you scoring, good neighbor.
We're trying to talk about the last score, my man.
We finished discussing the last time you did this, and you're doing it again.
And then we spend time watching him do it again.
Relax.
You know, at this point, we know that a 6-0 in Brigade is a very common aesthetic that these guys are probably used to. They've gotten 6 points now in every game that we've gotten to watch them in the in the esports arena. So this is really, really exciting.
Oh God, that really felt like it was gonna be another hit directly on. At the very least, the pressure is brutal right now. But there we go. But big sweep. Well, never mind. Ooh! I was just about to say, there we go. We're moving back out. Maybe turn of the tide, setting up. And instead, it was a setup for, once again, good neighbor to hit a shot long distance.
It's supposed to be a neutral zone.
It's supposed to be neutral.
This man makes it look like he was literally doing a layup. He's looking like he's just doing some textbook drills, the way he just finesses it into the top left corner. Regiment is
Don't do it again.
definitely
Don't do it.
Definitely feeling the pressure from this onslaught of the scores that we're getting from our friends, man. This is gone from a combative experience at 2-0 to 8-0. 8-0 very quickly.
God, there's a minute 18 seconds left.
Yeah, we're spending that minute 18 seconds definitely on a few more score screens with the way that the pace has been going so far. A good neighbor, Swishy, absolutely just a monster of a duo. If they continue this type of...
No way. No way!
If they continue this type of partnership, they continue passing and continue to flourish in their partnership this way, man, they're definitely going to be the first ones to break through to that double-digit scoreline you were talking about earlier, man.
I watched it just roll by.
It feels bad.
I watched it just take a casual Sunday stroll.
It feels bad,
right
man.
into the goal.
They said Lakeland is not going to be the highest scoring team of the night.
Oh,
we're not letting them walk
no.
away with that stat.
No. Brigade coming through, laying siege.
Absolutely. Planting seed, sowing seed, harvesting food, making a feast in front of our friends over at Regiment. They're laughing. It's basically the Red Wedding, and they've invited their enemy to go and chill and taken everything that they love in front of them with the way that they've scored 9 points effortlessly through 4 minutes and 30 seconds of gameplay. Will they get the double digits?
So close, but not quite there. They might still do it, though. 30 seconds remaining. That shot was a bit off kilter, but they are still in range.
Trizzle just casually turning upside down, knowing he doesn't have the angle, letting us know he knows complete control of his calculations.
Oh, that's guided in perfectly, but the defense is there.
Henny season, that's so clutch. You do not want to get that 10-0 score line. You do not want to be the first ones to achieve that in the tournament. You definitely want to be the ones to score, possibly, but unfortunately, he's unable to pick up that point, and we see a 9-0 score line. And still, to this day, we could say Brigade has not been scored on. Absolutely insane.
Still, without being touched, they haven't even taken damage yet, let alone been tied, or let alone been brought into overtime. They've yet to receive a hit.
Remember advancing guard from earlier?
advancing guard. This is an OTK. This is a touch to death. I mean, again, I'm getting into fighting game terminology. Don't let me get too deep into it.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
I know he's deep on it.
But case in point, they have not taken a shot yet, and that is crazy. But this is, again, what we are talking about in terms of controlling the pace.
Right.
This is, you are getting, in a way, a defensive measure. If you are always in control of the ball, if you are so aggressive that you are constantly taken away from your opponent, you don't need to worry about blocking shots as much because your opponent doesn't get to make shots.
I'm sure that we would see easily that the shots saved by Brigade are very low. Very low every game, but they are still winning, and that is because, exactly like you're saying, the offensive capabilities of this team are unparalleled so far. They're not getting anybody to really match them on shots on goal. We're seeing 2 really nice early shots from Regiment in this game, so I'm happy to see them being proactive. But we got to make sure that they can't, or they stop Brigade from spending too much time on this blue side.
Really love to see this kind of fast-paced action here. As a clean, nice, beautiful arc, just a hair over the top of the opponent's vehicle there. Just watch this shot go by.
No matter the outcome, You're the first person to score on Brigade.
Absolutely. Once again, you have taken that off.
You're like, we're not getting just stunted on.
I'm not letting you do this, but this again speaks to the fact that we might be seeing resurgence here by Regiment. But it's not gonna come without opposition from Brigade, of course.
That is absolutely disheartening. You think you're clearing that out with the wall pass, and you see Trizzle ascending from the heavens, turning his head. You see the driver in that car, he's getting motion sick. He doesn't even care. It's all just a flex on you.
It's the menacing Luigi theme from Mario Kart. Just a look by, just the look at hating ya.
Absolutely, man. He's like, this is main character energy, and you're in my way as you sit there on a 1-0 scoreboard. I'm going to make sure that I'm the one tying that up. And Good Neighbor looks for an absolutely insane angle on that, even as two defenders are flying up to block you. That was really, really smooth.
Absolutely graceful to watch in action. It's just wonderful. Again, a masterclass to see in action, but at the same time, we are seeing a lot of angles that you can't just pull up and do this. There's a lot of things in display here that we've mentioned it earlier, gotta mention it again. These are hours and hours and hours in the gym, in training, not just alone, working on your shots and angles, but with your team, getting that coordination, that communication down, understanding your teammates as well as you do yourself so you can set up shots like that.
Absolutely crazy. Look at this pass that goes all the way up the wall, and Disgruntled Vet finds the perfect flip forward into it. This is not a luck shot. This was calculated. This is exactly what you're talking about. The stuff that you have to lab out for hours to make it to the stage and make it to the point where you could sit in the semifinals, hopefully advancing to that podium, getting yourself on that gift card cash prize.
Not only does this require knowing the strategy very, very well, having that sense of the geometry at play, but it's a hard thing to make your hands do in a high pressure situation. These would be tough enough shots to land when you have the ability to be in the gym just doing practice runs, let alone doing it, recognizing when the opportunity presents itself and immediately shifting your mindset into, all right, I know exactly what to do here, and executing it perfectly in that moment.
Also, another time that we're getting to see a stat change in what the narrative have been all night. We're getting to see Regiment, who's been was behind 9-0, now scoring 2 points and catching a really nice lead on Brigade as we get halfway through the clock of the game. Let's hopefully see them get to hold this lead, maybe even expand upon it. But as I say that, Good Neighbor does an amazing pass to Trizzle that can't be ignored.
Wild plays being made there. With that going long distance, it will get tipped in beautiful. You can see the defense was there, ready to try and block it, but they weren't expecting that come from behind striker and that little bit of extra tip in there.
That's a that's a fake shot, man. You cannot stop that kind of energy, man. The pass was so clean. It looked like it was locked and loaded, man. And he was there perfectly angled to just stunt. I love his little animation too, that disco. The ball just exploding, like, oh, so nice. And
oh,
as we say
speaking
that again,
of so nice.
He just wanted me to see it again because it's just so ethereal and beautiful. Absolutely insane work from Trizzle today. I know he's definitely being looked at as an MVP of this series and definitely a strong MVP of this team from what we've gotten to see so far.
This is already a crazy game, and I have just based on what we're looking at here, the next 2 minutes and 3 seconds can only be just as, if not more, wild. We're seeing a pop-up there, deflect, and he's trying to get that middle angle in. He's not quite on target, though, to guide that to net. Could have done with an assist there, but the entirety of Regiment was ready on the defense.
Right, and what was working for Regiment before was getting some pretty unorthodox passes, so I need them to deviate away from this standard clear out, get destroyed, pass it around formula that the Brigade squad has been able to dictate this whole time and get back into those pretty nutty pass arounds that broke up that Brigade formation and got them to get some really nice shots.
Over on the side, we need that scaled up the wall. Good Neighbor hunting for the next shot opportunity that's going to go sailing wide yet again. Bounce back and forth. Mid-air, maintaining that space. That might be on target. It's a little too high by just a bit, just a hair.
Yeah, Trizzle's not mad about his performance today, but he might be mad that he couldn't get the 4-2 lead there. Phoenix is able to get the 3-3 tie-up, and that's exactly what I'm saying. He might be mad. And now they really got to work in this last minute to solidify this lead that they want. And I'm so happy to see a team that has been able to wrangle the offensive pressure that their opponent has given them and finally channel that into a very contested event. They're not giving up this game 2 for free. And I'm really, really hoping that they can lock it in order to put ourselves in a really intense situation for Brigade like that. Look at it. Look at it.
It's again wild and only getting more so. Look how many people were involved in that play. That was a 3-man intersection.
So slick how he's just there to make sure, give that extra little love, support, the way that we're getting support from our friends over here at Nation's Finest in this event, and they're sponsoring of this Veterans Cup. Oh my gosh, and Phoenix keeps it going.
Can't even get through a promo for our spots for the charity service with voting without them scoring again.
Phoenix, slow down.
Relax. Hold on.
Showing us for sure that they're not here to get displaced out of this loser semifinal. This is not the way they're going out. They've totally shifted the momentum. Trizzle is not playing with that energy. Gets a really nice pass from Good Neighbor, but they still have 40 more seconds to score 2 goals to win or 1 to get us into that overtime. You cannot leave gaps open like that against Trizzle though, man. That's way too wide for way too long.
Absolutely have to have that airtight defense minute to minute, or you're going to get something slipped right past you. The regiment is absolutely on the hunt for these shot opportunities. Oh God.
Yes, that's an oh God situation for sure, but Henny Season keeps it out of their harm's way. We see our friends up in the air. Disgruntled Vet is holding true, making sure that that goalie opportunity is still secure. We see a really, really nice opportunity from Good Neighbor that is cleared out potentially by our friends at Regiment. There it is, cleared out. They're happy to get that breath. It's 10 seconds, comes back on the clock. Brigade is hopefully looking for some really, really nice opportunity to bring this into overtime, but it's not looking to be so. 1 second left on the clock. Do they have one from downtown? The longest second in Rocket League?
Oh my God. Oh my God, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh,
okay.
so close. Oh my.
Phoenix with crazy amount of pressure in that game. You see the striker, you see the cars bumped. Phoenix was not playing on that one, and it showed as they get themselves the 1-1 now in this best of 5.
Speaking of pressure, speaking of which, my blood pressure is getting a lot going through this. I'm not sure how much more I can take. Austin, tell me we're getting close to the end of this, right? I'll be able to, I think, like, lie down, like, I think
I don't know if production got ice packs for this man,
yeah,
but
I don't know.
maybe a nice lavender for your temples or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, so I got to do something to relax after this. I'm gonna be the rest of the day just yelling no matter what happens. It's the next game. I haven't even got through what I'm going through yet, and you're already scoring.
Swishy is not dealing with whatever you got going on. Swishy's worried about advancing forward in this loser semifinal. Starting out the first 3 seconds with a very, very promising goal for Brigade. They were not happy with how that last game ended.
Absolutely not. They're coming out swinging as a result. But again, that last game did also end showing that these two teams are very, very competitively matched. That was nearly an overtime situation. There was no blowouts here. This is not one-sided by any means. Everyone here is here to ball, and there is an absolutely strong chance that we're going to see that turned around. Case in point, we're 1-1 on the wins right now.
I do got to say, though, we did get a exhibition where Phoenix played out of their mind. Phoenix literally carried the whole game last game. Whereas for Brigade, we see Good Neighbor come in with opportunities. We see Swishy doing a lot. We see Trizzle doing a lot. I can't say the same for my friends on Regiment. I just feel like they have more aces in the hole right now for Brigade. I'm going to need to see Disgruntled Vet step up. I'm going to need a lot more pressure from the other members of Regiment because we already see 3 different names have scored for Brigade in the first minute.
It's incredible. 3. A minute ago it was 2. A bit before that it was 1. What's happening here? We're barely past 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Phoenix, like I'm saying, had a crazy game, was able to do so much. Hopefully it wasn't too much gas.
Hopefully, I mean, it feels like this is that kind of ferocity that has some staying power. This doesn't seem like a lot of intense coordinated effort that drains. I'm seeing still the dedication to keeping these shots well maintained, and again, maintaining the pace in the process, using that aggression to take opportunities away from your opponent and reduce the number of times that you even have to do a defense.
Right, you don't want to spend this much time on your side, and it's good to see that Brigade has been able to keep this offensive pressure for so long, but in the games that Regiment won, they were able to get really nice breakout opportunities and really awesome like I said, unorthodox passes that broke up the common pace of the game, where we're going to see Brigade just sitting on the blue side, taking crazy shots. There we see, again, Phoenix finding those unorthodox situations where the ball is kind of just left up in a fumble.
Taking advantage of that, turns it into point gain. As you can see, Phoenix hitting a sharp turn there.
Right.
Again, difficult to execute. Being able to spot that and act on it that quickly speaks to a high degree of technical skill and awareness of what's going on around you.
And disgruntled vet with a very beautiful bump to just keep it elevated and get that really nice pass for our friends. So let's just see more and more opportunities like that matriculate for our friends at Regiment, and they might be able to bring this to a 3-3. But I know Brigade's not going to make that easy. They love doing these nice aerial pass maneuvers. They love having somebody just flying above to finessely tap it into the goal. And I haven't got to see that too much from Regiment. They don't really have that advanced tool in their arsenal from what I've seen yet, where Brigade's been bringing that to the table a few times, and it's really making for some standout performances from their team.
Almost set up for a shot there, a little bit too, and it's rolling in with nobody to stop it.
Trizzle?
let's take a close look at the replay
Trizzle
here.
said, "This
I'm a
is
little
mine."
confused. Hits it from like a mile away and then just kind of escorts it further up. That's just walking your friend home at the end of a long day. It's like, all right, man, yeah, this is your stop. All right, cool. I'm gonna catch you later. Anyway.
Yeah, kind of just nudging them on the way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can help you if you need it, but I'ma just kick you. I'ma just kick you here. You have a good day.
Yeah.
Trizzle with the really nice and considerate goal.
Yeah.
Not necessarily having to beat the ball into you get a breakaway like that on me, I'm trying to get 120 miles on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
But they know what they've got. They're sitting there very comfortably with 3 points in the lead, and they have a lot of time to stretch out and make themselves for a nice time. Oh, they're able to keep that away from Regiment and look really promising as a nice little angle if they could find it, but unfortunately, it's back on Regiment's side.
Defense on point here. Not going through, but that's a destruction. This could be an opportunity. Swishy coming in, lining up a shot. Woo! Deflected even still, but they are keeping that pressure on. Regiment under attack here, close range. Brigade working hard, trying to line up a shot there, still not able to get it. Regiment has recovered from the destruction here, has the full force of the team ready to try and get this ball out of their house.
Oh, really, really, really nice to see a bit more air work coming in from these teams. Like I said, they don't have as much of this as some of our teams that we've seen in the winners bracket, but it's nice to see Good Neighbor going for some crazy, crazy laser-focused shots. I really would love to see a bit more pressure from Regiment in this last minute and a half, because it's just the last games, you know what I'm saying? You really need back against the wall. You do not want to sit against Brigade on a match point. This team does not take no for an answer. They like to see goals on their side of the scoreboard. You do not want to see them with 2 notches in the belt towards that 3rd victory.
By no means. We have seen such great stuff out of Brigade so far that it'll come as no surprise as they come through with the win, but at the same time, Regiment can fire back from this, even with 1 minute remaining. I have faith, and I really don't need that much of it, because they have displayed a lot of resiliency and a lot of point gain, even under high-pressure situations thus far.
Ooh, from downtown. They brought it all the way back from there. You see that crazy wall shot? And then Trizzle gets an insane pass off the wall for Good Neighbor to do that one of those classic backboard drills, you know, and you see like the Lakers warming up, just passing it to each other off the backboard for an hour before somebody dunks it in. Really, really nice way to get that 5-1 lead and show that they want to get this win in this loser semifinal and get onto that game against our team in the winners.
Get it up, that is going to go rolling. Hetty trying for it there, not able to quite line it up, but a destruction may present opportunity here. Trizzle bring it away over, but he's far too far to the left for that to be on target for a direct shot. Might be a good setup though, but still they just do not have the angles they need here. Swishy either. They are keeping it on the blue team's end of things though. Regiment on the back foot once again on the defense.
Really, really, really important that this next 10 seconds they don't lose any of the momentum that they've really established, but I don't really see that happening. They've had insane passes, laser precision, they didn't let any of the offensive opportunities that presented themselves in this last game from our friends at Regiment really get into anything. Brigade is looking solid, like you said, cleaning up those important plays during the bracket so that when you step into that winner's bracket situation, you really cleaned up anything that got you there in the first place. I think that they're doing a great job.
And there's still opportunity for either one of these competitors to come through with the win ultimately. This is a lot of back and forth. Not only are the point totals very, very close at hand within the games, but we're now 2-1,
right,
looking for the first of 3.
And whoever goes through, if this ends here and it's a 3-1 situation, they're having to deal with short circuit gaming. You don't want to have gassed yourself too much because we've seen what that team is bringing to the table. They're flying in your face. There's 30 of them. There's only 3 people on the field. What's happened?
The Shadow Clone Jutsu is in full effect.
Good neighbors scoring in the first 13 seconds. That's the way that they want to be stepping into the winner's bracket if they're going to get there.
And I mean, they certainly are giving us reason to believe that they just might kick things off like that. Only a few seconds gone by and already we've got points made, but that's not always indicative of what we're going to get. There might be a good long stretch after this before we see the next shot landed. Or alternatively, perhaps in contrast, to give another option, on the other hand, in comparison, possibly, in conflict, consider the following.
It just happens within 4 seconds. I think that's where you were leading into with that one. Absolutely insane. Brigade! This is a no-surrender tournament. Don't do this. Don't do this. You cannot be sitting here with 3 points on the scoreboard in the first 30 seconds. We're trying to get ourselves a nice competitive match going in here.
I want you to know, for the folks at home, it's rather cold in the studio. I feel like I'm about to start sweating. I feel like I'm about to start breaking out into sweats.
Man,
watching this go down.
Ice cold, calculation, precision, disrespect. Disgruntled Vet gets an opening and finds a way to stop this onslaught of offensive pressure from Brigade. Thank you so much, Disgruntled Vet. I was getting tired of seeing that scoreboard for Brigade. It was too frequent. That's 3 times in 30 seconds.
Goes from disgruntled to outright angry and fires back. Excellent work to return a little bit of momentum to Regiment's side. Very much so needed here because keep in mind, Regiment is a team that needs to get 2 victories in a row here. Brigade gets 1 more win, and they've taken the match.
Absolutely worth mentioning. I think that they have what it takes. We've seen in Game 2 that they can easily dictate the pressure on Brigade when they're playing on all cylinders, being fully firing. That also means that Phoenix needs to be stepping up because when we saw that victory come in, that Phoenix nameplate was dropping a lot for a lot of shots. And right now I'm seeing a lot of Good Neighbor, I'm seeing a lot of Trizzle, and it's not necessarily going to be Phoenix, even on a save, unfortunately, to get us a bit of a closer game here. It's 4-1.
It was wild, the last game, and it's wild this one. Again, that balance of power is being maintained, which also means we are still holding on to a lot of opportunity for everybody. That being said, Brigade really turned up the heat here so far and being very, very successful with these couple of early shots means if we're holding steady and a range, it's pretty evenly paced between them, but Brigade is sitting on a 3-point margin.
Right.
What does Regiment do to not only keep pace and continue going shot for shot, but to jump ahead that 3 points at some point during this game?
Is unfortunately breaking up these opportunities where we have Good Neighbor flying through with the midfield with a really nice pass, and we have our friend Trizzle sitting there in the air, just getting to have a really nice setup. We need to get one of these out of the equation for Regiment in order to have them see some success. Swishy definitely finds some opportunities, but I really feel like Good Neighbor is the one who's getting the most passes. Get him destroyed, get him boxed out, get opportunities where he's not able to just sit here on the wall, fly in, pass it to Swishy, and you have to be very reactionary.
Once again, we are at mid-range, and once again, Good Neighbor sailing through along the side. Lines that up beautifully. Thank you, Trizzle. Thank you a little bit to the enemy team for getting that angle.
Amazing response from Good Neighbor there. He sees the pop-up. He says, mine, 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 mine. He goes for it, and he dunks it right in their face. Really just a splish-splash experience from our friend. And another shot!
God.
Another shot!
one after another. They cannot slow down. Brigade absolutely refusing to allow this to be another well-balanced game. They want to finish this up now. They do not want another match after this. They have to try and fight.
I'm not sure if they want it over now because there's a lot of time we're spending on replay screens. So I feel like right now they're getting a nice little
but there's their replay screens because Good Neighbor is an absolute monster.
And let's not disrespect that pass with the nice repositioning. Like, catches it for yourself so you can place it perfectly for Good Neighbor to just fly through. I'm so excited to see what we have coming up in this next game. This is absolutely insane clinic from our friends over at Brigade. They're doing crazy things on all sides of the court, both shooting and defending, because we know that they've been scored on a total of 6 times this game, but have a total of 20 to 30 points for sure. Insane, the match presence that they bring. We see it again as Trizzle gets a beautiful pass from Swishy. What is the answer to this kind of cohesion? They're doing some really nice stuff that even 2 defenders can't grab out of the corner of the net.
Yeah, listen, you find the answer to that question, you let me know, because it'll do wonders for my win rates in this game. Because if I'm in a situation like this, I'm already, like, mentally, I'm already on the next thing I'm going to do.
He said, I'm already, like, technically I've surrendered twice, but my team doesn't want to. So I'm kind of just in it, pushing the ball
I'll go down with the ship. I'm just saying that, like, emotionally, I've already made my peace.
He's I'm good.
Yeah, I'm planning on how I'm going to lose, you know?
I'm the sweatiest tryhard. I'm sitting there at the 8-1 loss, like 10 seconds left, like, come on, keep the ball in the air for his team. We gotta get this last score.
At a certain point, I'll have resigned myself, but I will, like, you know what? I may as well keep playing. This is practice now. This is practice for next game.
You're casually trying too hard.
Yeah, casual try hard.
I like that.
Is gonna go on my resume.
Okay, advancing guard, casual try hard. We're building a whole persona for you right now, Caleb.
I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it.
I'm digging the vibe, man. You'll never walk alone. But what unfortunately will have to be walked alone is our friends Regiment out of this bracket if they cannot get 7 points on the board in the next minute and 13 seconds. And that's a tall order against our friends at Brigade.
Certainly, it'd be a tall order against anybody, but Brigade especially right now with the 7-point margin and 1 minute 3 seconds left on the clock here. I don't know what you do about this.
Yeah, I definitely know what I would do, and I think we discussed it a little bit earlier. But if this is me in this situation, I'm thinking about how amazing we got played against and how thankful I am for the competition that got to come out to the nation's finest Veterans Cup. This has been such a beautiful time that we've gotten to have. And if you have a moment in your time to visit our sponsors at Veterans Finest, beautiful nationsfinest.org or nationsfinest.kindful.com to go and see the work that they're doing in their communities. Over 7,000 people helped over the past 50 years, coming on 50 years now. So really thankful for them putting on this opportunity, and really thankful for these last 15 seconds for Regiment, because I know that they're very tired of looking at that 1-8 score line.
Beautiful there. Beautiful navigation, but the defense is on point. Disgruntled veteran not about to let that go through. Brigade, you know they're hungry for that last little bit of food, last little one more meal on the way out. They're not going to get it. The Brigade, however, will still finish absolutely with the win well in hand.
Man, yeah, and they have a huge amount of momentum moving forward, because even though they lost that game too, they gave them the hugest run for their money. Phoenix, like I said, had an amazing game, standout performance. We have some highlights from this experience. Excellent. But in general, our friend, it was Brigade just nonstop. Score, replay, score, Good Neighbor, pass from Trizzle, Trizzle, pass from our friend, Good Neighbor. It was just all over the place. I don't even know how to comprehend how many scores even just happened.
It's incredible. I mean, when I saw Regiment get their first shot, I wouldn't have imagined that would have been the only one. When we saw that, you really thought, all right, we're seeing some pushback, we're balancing things out, and then that's just the way that things were always. As you can see here, it came through relatively early, and then Brigade said, all right, everybody gets one.
Right.
And then
We'll pass the
came
wealth.
through in strong order, managed to make and maintain some incredible control over the game, and won themselves another one as a result.
Right, we saw Regiment able to win a lot of the exchanges that were a bit more unorthodox, like in this game too here. They had that 5-3 win. Phoenix bringing in another beautiful score. That was what brought it to 5-3. Phoenix was playing absolutely insane in the more at their pace games, which seemed to be a bit more unorthodox. But Witten Brigade got the opportunity to do a few passes, to get a nice couple lobs as people are flying overhead. You saw that that pressure was just unstoppable from them. Brigade! Really, really nice stuff coming out from them. We saw Trizzle do a baby little drop off at the pool. It was just insane.
It is a wild thing. I really can't appreciate enough just how much finesse Brigade displayed in that last game. The efficiency on these plays, the coordination was spectacular to watch in action, and it does nothing but inspire confidence that we may be seeing them go all the way. One way or another, we are definitely looking at a team with the capability to be a top 3, if not #1 contender for this. Again, potential $450 in gift card money in first place, and nothing too bad for second or third either.
Yes, and that's all thanks to our friends here at Veterans Nation's Finest. We're so lucky to have them as a sponsor for this event, and we're really looking forward to our friends at Short Circuit Gaming and Brigade to have that crazy grand final match that's gonna definitely be a banger. They both had really strong aerial games. I would honestly go as far to say that Short Circuit Gaming has the edge in that scenario, just because I saw a lot more coordinated passing in the air as opposed to ground to air action that I got to see from Brigade. But you know, that offensive pressure does not go without notice.
Not at all. And of course, as wild as this game is, and as much as we want to appreciate that, we also want to show our support for, of course, our fantastic sponsors here at Nation's Finest, continuing to show their support for veterans around the nation, doing some excellent work for them. Again, providing everything from housing to employment assistance to addiction counseling, everything that they need and rely on out there. And if you want to be a part of that change, being a part of the 7,000 helps so far, there's only climbing day by day in locations across the tri-state area, then please do go, of course, nationsfinest.org or nationsfinest.kindful.com. See how you can donate, you can volunteer. No matter what your situation is, there are ways that you can be a part of helping someone in such a meaningful, impactful way, not just a veteran, but a veteran's family.
Right, and it turns out it could even just be through gaming, which they have a main point of focus as a way for them to stay connected no matter the distance, no matter where life brings us. We're able to connect through these games just like we're doing now, and it's really nice to be able to do this today at the tournament that we're able to enjoy from them. I'm really looking forward to getting into this grand finals match. It's been a lot of turmoil for our teams to get there. I know there's been some 10-0 almost victories. There's been some 5-4 close. There's been some crazy overtime clinches. But nonetheless, we're getting closer and closer to this podium. And let's get into our bracket real quick just to double check where we're at. It looks like first we're going to be looking at Short Circuit Gaming versus Brigade and the grand final. And then we have a grand final set too, just in case we get an upset from the losers bracket, correct?
Correct. Who knows what's about to be going down? You really, if this day has taught me anything, it's expect the unexpected, because I've yet to be right about basically, and it's a weird. I don't feel like either of us have gotten a game prediction, and yet we keep saying things, and something happens like mid-sentence.
Right.
To verify. I was like, again, the turnaround time on either Caster's Curse or Blessing has been like, you don't even get to put the period on your sentence before you were like, you say something. It's like, I sure would love to see this. Bam.
And that's about as Rocket League as it gets. I mean, we started the day with seeing what we seemed to believe would have been a very dominant force in this competition, and then see them instantly get moved to the loser bracket in Lakeland University. We also got to see our friend the Reno Rollers come out and give them a hard time to get to that point of progression. But then we get to see friends like Velocity that unfortunately had to drop out, but they showed such a great showing. And then we got to see Short Circuit Gaming do something immaculate with what time they had. So it's been a grueling day. Has there been any standout times for you? Any series that stood out for you personally?
Man, that's a long list.
I know.
At this stage in the day, that's a long list.
Right.
I mean, our fallen friends Escape Velocity put down some incredible things. I love the start that we had to the day because I feel like it was, in a way, a great setup for what to expect. At the same time, the very next round being such a stark contrast to the first,
right.
I feel like that's the sweet spot.
Right.
I feel like that encapsulated absolutely everything we were prepared to expect for the state in terms of not only there being such incredible proficiency, but for you coming with expectations, that's a mistake.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Don't think you can predict what's gonna go through by any means. You knocked that off immediately was the message. From that moment on, it is held true the entire tournament.
Expect the unexpected is the only way to go out here.
Absolutely.
And it's been a really, really nice time. We're going to get into one last sponsored video from our friends at Nation's Finest, and we will be right back with you.
Hi, this is Alfred Molina on behalf of Nation's Finest. Nation's Finest is a non-profit that's been dedicated to helping military veterans since 1972, when a group of returning Vietnam veterans created an organization to help fellow veterans and their families. They understood the unique set of challenges veterans face when returning home. Because to a veteran, home isn't just a place, it's an idea, a feeling. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in 14 communities in California, Arizona, and Nevada, where every year we help thousands of veterans build happy, healthy, and purposeful lives. And we're expanding to keep pace with the ever-evolving needs of the veteran community. To learn how you can help us support veterans in need of housing, case management, mental health counseling, employment services, and more, visit nationsfinest.org or call 833-GOT-YOUR-6. That's 833-468-9676.
Welcome back once again. It is time, folks. We have a long day full of incredible twists and turns. Fantastic peaks of action and intensity. We have learned to expect the unexpected. We have been through the ringer with some dedicated teams who are setting high standards and then obliterating even those standards. And now we move on to our grand finals game. Austie Champ, are you ready for someone else to earn a similarly prestigious moniker as they come through with that first place position?
You're giving me too much energy right now, my man. You got me.
I've got energy, man. It's been built up over the course of the day. I am ready for our finale.
Got me coursing, man. Short Circuit Gaming. Absolutely insane performances from what we've seen so far. Brigade. Dominating. One of our highest scoring blowouts of the day is gonna be games of absolute bangers. We're looking forward to seeing whatever these teams have. Hopefully it's gonna be all out offense. In my book, I just wanna be able to scream at the top of my lungs to end off the day. But if it's a more methodical, slow-paced game, I'd love to see the strategy. I'd love to see, like I said earlier today, and I'd like to see a bit more plays, matriculation, things that are, that look like military formations, like I said, militaristic in their execution. Yeah. That would be a great way to bring it home. Or we could just have a slugfest, 10-10, Short Circuit Gaming, Brigade in the losers bracket. They got themselves a few wins to get out of that side and secure the first place, but nonetheless, they're gonna do an amazing job. We're gonna see what happens as they got them already in a very defensive situation against Short Circuit, who's been getting some time to cool off.
It's been already a wild and crazy kind of a day, and now we get to see the pinnacle, the peak, the culmination of all the energy that's been building over the course of the tournament thus far, where we see once again good old Sway coming through. Every name on the field right now is one that inspires confidence, one that has a highlights clip playing in your head, no doubt. Swishy out here going up against Sway. We can see Trizzle. We can see, again, Good Neighbor. My God, we just got done talking about him, and we are not finished talking about him, clearly.
Is the example of what you spoke about earlier with that caster's blessing. You talk about him, he's getting a play. He's going to get the first blood, the first score of this bracket reset, hopeful situation for them. They're trying to get that first. I love it.
I really can't imagine how much more high octane this can get.
Sway's not taking it. Sway's not having none of this. Aviator with the pass, Sway with the capitalization. Look at this. They went all for it. I love to see the energy. They're trying to get that 2-0. They're not leaving anybody in the backfield, though. And unfortunately, it bites them in the butt, man. We got a 1-1 game within the first 1 minute, and the pace is set. The pace is set. It's going to be that slugfest, I think, my man. I don't think we're getting no methodical little game going on.
I think they said this is war. I think they said this is time for a brawl. I swear we are gonna cut back from the game at some point, and you're just gonna see me like lay it out across the chair like an caught a case of the vapors. I'm about to be laid out by this game.
Man, if I don't see you laid out by the time this is done, it only subverted expectations, but I expect nothing more than some exceptional teamwork, because that's what these two teams
that's on target.
Definitely had that set them apart from everybody else. They're always locked in with each other. They rotate immaculately. They're passing one-to-one in the air. They're doing some really nice aerial work, and all that is rewarding them into getting into this grand finals match. We see a nice little floater. Solus is getting it out there. He doesn't want no noise.
Getting close, but not quite in line for a shot, but we are holding things on Short Circuit's end of the field. Not giving him too much breathing room here. Aviator, however, is taken to the skies. You know what that means. If he's doing it again, defense at the very last minute.
Oh my gosh, Aviator's so stylish. I just want to be when I grow up.
It's talk about me getting laid out. My co-host was nearly off the stage just now. Nearly taken completely out of. We're going to have to get somebody in with like a mobile camera so we can watch him as he like sprints into the other room with excitement.
I need my albuterol. I need help. Caleb.
We need the Jerry Springer angles of you just like following you, leaving the studio and running outside.
Man, I might have to run into the arena because I just cannot stand the heat inside of this room that we're in right now. This is absolutely what we've been praying for. It's 1-to-1. 3 minutes and 40 seconds have passed now, so these teams are really looking to clinch out something special. We got a really nice pinch on the wall, but it's gonna be cleared out of there. They're gonna try and bring it back. Short Circuit Gaming is really looking to capitalize on this, but it's getting cleared out again by Brigade. I'm really happy to see this. Really happy to see Trizzle on that defense, but we need to get this out of this Brigade side if they want to hopefully evade this point getting scored on them.
Again, we are in neutral territory. Sway, big deflect there, sends that back to mid-range. We are hanging out, hovering, hunting for the next opportunity. But I make it sound casual. Trust me, everybody out here is working very hard to maintain pace and to try and create their next opening.
Right, you need no holes at all times because both of these teams have laser shots. They don't lose any opportunity that they can take openly, so you have to make it impossible.
That's a deflect there, turns it right back around off of A. Formerly looked like a pretty beautiful setup for some mid-air play there, but trying to do, again, air work against Short Circuit is going to be a difficult endeavor with Aviator on the case. The skies are not safe, and Solus sneaks by and tips that in to put another point onto the board for Short Circuit.
You see Aviator fly in, you know that points are coming. This man is so slick in the air, he passes it effortlessly to Solus, and Solus gives that edge to get them that 2-1 lead with 1 minute and 11 seconds left on the board.
Once again, we're up top. Get that deflected. Trizzle mid-air. Trying to work on it. That is dangerously close, but not quite on target. Take a restful pause before getting back into the air. So you can successfully and accurately deflect that. But Short Circuit Gaming is keeping up the pressure. Thankfully, Swishy is on the case. Fantastic defense work there.
Yes. We're seeing so much defensive energy being expended by Brigade that we didn't get to see from them earlier. So it's nice to see that they have that defensive capability, but that energy coming from that Short Circuit is just absolutely undeniable. They cannot take back what they've already lost, but they can hopefully score one more to bring it to that 2-2 and get us into the overtime.
Hopefully, we'll have to wait and see, but certainly so far, there's a lot of reason to believe in either of one of these teams here, but 16 seconds left for this round means that if Brigade doesn't land something soon, Short Circuit is going to be able to pick up that first win. Only a few precious seconds left, and they just might do it, but they've got to take it now, get it into the air. Rolling across the ground is not going to be able to go anywhere. There's the tip up, and they have to keep it up the entire way if they want to try something with it. Possible, but not quite realized, at least not this time.
Aviator getting that MVP just speaks so well to what we got to see. So much just airplay, even though no goals, both assists came from Aviator. You know when we see him going up those walls and spinning, he is telling us a story. He is looking for your soul and he's trying to get the win. This grand finals is so delivering so far.
This is why, and again, there's a possibility of a bracket reset here.
Right.
There's a possibility of us doing this and then doing it again.
Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Caleb, I knew this was a match made in heaven, my dude. But a true match made in heaven was Nation's finest opportunity to bring together the Level Up Veterans Cup and this gaming opportunity with the HyperX Esports Arena to really give these gamers an opportunity to get some gift card prizes for all the things that they do and the opportunities that they provide us to scream our heads off at crazy goals, as well as all the opportunities Nation's finest is providing for so many veterans, an increasing amount of veterans over these past 50 years. Thousands of families helped with mental services and so many opportunities. So shout out to them for providing this. We're getting right into game 2. I couldn't be more excited to see what Brigade can bring to the table to bring this back from Short Circuit Gaming.
No, it's gonna be a lot. Whatever we get, we're getting a lot of it with a long deflector going sailing. That's gonna be redirected. Doesn't quite get it on target there, but
warming it up.
That's a destruction there, taking one off the side of Brigade. They're down player here for a brief moment, but it doesn't turn into anything quite yet. We're still hovering in neutral. Not quite ready to go in on the shot, but you never know when that window of opportunity will crack open a bit. Like there, nearly, but Trizzle was on the case.
I'm so happy to see this Brigade squad just absolutely quick on this trigger to make sure that we're unable to see a Short Circuit Gaming blowout. These guys are firing on all cylinders. Brigade is doing the same thing. Sway is shooting from who even knows where. This man's picking up shots from downtown. It was passed across the town, and then he got it off the wall as a pincher to the bottom court. Cross map pressure that is just unable to be answered from our friends at Brigade leads to Short Circuit Gaming taking the first goal of the game.
Popped up there. We're going to slide around over to the left, and that is going to ride the wall. Up top, we'll see that get dunked down, and
I cannot believe that. Good neighbor save.
Off by a hair.
That was so smooth. That was that, what a save. What a save, quick chat from me.
Absolutely. You can, again, those moments where you can feel what you would be doing in these situations. You can practically see it popping up on screen before your very eyes.
Honestly,
just
man,
watching the play itself.
These guys got me fired up right now. I'm really excited to see what they could bring what else they could bring to the table.
Ooh.
But Sway finds a great opportunity bringing it away from the two defenders that were on the wall.
Beautiful connect there. Short Circuit now to the Brigade. Gotta wait for our next opportunity for Brigade to get onto the board here, but with 3 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock, there's plenty of time to make it happen. Keep in mind, though, Brigade still needs the bracket reset, so not only do they, from this point here, they need 3 wins, they also need to do that again.
They need about 3 goals every game for about 8 games to try to get this going for them. And it's not impossible. It is not at all impossible. It is a very tall order against what we're seeing from the short gaming side.
Graceful.
Solus taking a note out of Aviator's book, hitting this with the flare, the spin flare, but it's not leading into anything. He's getting a really nice pass thrown up, and Brigade's breaking it up over to the Short Circuit Gaming side of the field.
Long distance tipper there. Goes back into the hands of Solus, who will get mid-air again. Tried to deflect it towards the goal, but not quite on target. Once again, another dunk up. Even Solus is not in position to angle that the way he likes from the spot he's at. That's going to sail back out instead.
The use of the wall is absolutely insane from our friends at Short Circuit Gaming. They're short-circuiting these walls. They don't even know how to respond to the way that they maneuver on them. The movement is very, very clean. It's really, really nice to see. And we see Good Neighbor steal a goal from misdirecting that beautiful offensive position. Woo!
Absolutely picturesque. Good Neighbor doing a classic play. We have seen many a time out of him thus far.
Yes.
And getting that to sink.
And we need him just to do it one more time in order to get this to go at least to overtime and for me to at least scream for about 3 more seconds. Because these goals are meaning everything for this Brigade squad at this point.
Sent sailing there. Not quite able to reach goal, though, yet again. Short Circuit Gaming does some excellent work circulating that around. An Aviator somehow just doesn't get...
Look, he's flying
The
up.
defense comes up, and Aviator said, I didn't notice.
Michael Jordan with the arm extending across the Space Jam arena. What is that? You leap from across your side. You're in your goalie box.
And the defense was there. The defense came up to block him, and he just
Stuffing,
putting
the face down as you put your elbow inside of the rim.
God.
Absolutely demoralizing, but everything that Aviator has shown to be. It's the only goal Aviator has in the match so far. Everything else has been assists. That's a memorable goal if you want to get one on the series.
Absolutely. Hey, let me hit you with this, though. Demoralizing or angry?
Angry.
Is this going to be what puts that little bit of extra fire in Brigade here as they work on getting their comeback game going? Because they certainly had the time to do it. That was close, but not quite there. Brigade, however, is only down by 2 with 1:15 seconds on the clock. That's a doable feat.
And they have themselves a really nice opportunity here, but it gets broken up. Swishy still has it. We can't forget how much Swishy has offered to this team so far. And Good Neighbor's got a really nice angle. But it's not broken into anything that's going to be a nice
dancing with it.
way to
We're dancing with it, but the defense is there. It goes a little bit too low to sail into net there, but that is wide open.
Trizzle! What is that? Trizzle with the absolutely game-evening, momentum-shifting, redirecting, aerial finessing score that brings us to 2-3 on the game. We got 51 seconds. Let's get ourselves hype mode. Let's lend some energy to Brigade for the series. Let's lend our energy for short-term gaming, who's gonna just get up
You
Aviator.
can stop lending them energy now.
Man.
You can stop. They've got enough energy. So thank you for that. They have enough energy, clearly.
Aviator. Okay, second goal is to shut Austin Champ up, I guess. I get it.
They're playing the game, and yet I feel like we're unraveling. Like somehow we're taking the most damage over the course of this tournament.
How have I been scored on this much and I'm not even touching a controller?
I'm taking direct damage.
1 HP.
I'm getting the destruction has been dealt against me.
I have 10 HP on my health bar.
Help me, please. I'm in the red.
All right, man. Well, you know what else is in the red? How much time our friends at Brigade have to get this game back under their belt. It's looking really, really promising for our friends at Short Circuit Gaming right now. I guess I spoke too soon in lending them my energy, but I cannot be biased. In the effort of good sport, I just love to see a team do their best. And right now, Short Circuit Gaming is unfortunately have the best of the bests, because they are just showing everybody that even Brigade, the people who won 9-0 in their last match, are unable to even put one game on the board against them. Shout out to our friend Sway, shout out to Aviator, Soulless, doing amazing, crazy things through this whole tournament. What can we say for what we've seen? Short Circuit Gaming.
I'm not even sure where to begin. I could write a book on this tournament, man. This has been intense. This has been surprising.
Right.
It's been just about everything you can hope for in a good esports tournament. It has been fast, it's been crazy, it's been loud.
Right.
And as a result, great to watch and capable to listen to, I hope. Because, again, I'm sorry, but you saw what I've been going through. Listen, you're yelling too. I can hear you. I know you are. Just because you can hear me at each one of the many locations to belong to Nation's Finest, where they're helping veterans around the area in this state and several and two others, doesn't mean that you're not also getting hyped there. You're just not on camera. And yet,
You ain't gotta call them out like that, Caleb.
I do have to, all right? I gotta defend myself on here. But whether or not folks are justifiably concerned about me breaking another microphone, we do still have opportunity for Brigade to bring this back here,
Right.
but they are in a precarious situation. They have to win 3 straight.
3 straight.
These haven't been, while they haven't taken a win for a round yet, they haven't gone through a round that they didn't have points on the board. They haven't gone through a round where they haven't been fighting back the whole thing.
Right.
So it's doable.
And after that 3 straight, they gotta do it again.
They have to do it 3 straight, but then doesn't have to be quite a 3 straight. Then they can, again, that's a reset, it's a moment of pause, but they do have to continue fighting Short Circuit.
But they are able to divvy up them prize gift cards that much healthier if they are able to do so. So let's see what kind of effort they're gonna put into this game that for them decides whether or not they're gonna be walking into that 2nd place spot, or if they're gonna be lucky enough to continue with the bracket reset. So as we see right now, still pretty even throughout the first 30 seconds, just getting a feel for the pace. I'm not sure who could come out on top of this, but we definitely want to see Aviator in the air and spinning anytime soon if we want Brigade to be in the winning spot.
This is going to be another intense game, perhaps more intense than all the others come before it, in fact, as we see whether or not Short Circuit Gaming will be able to lay claim to victory here and now, a sentence that we're going to be able to say either once or several times in a row as Brigade makes the full comeback to bracket reset.
If that happens, I'll be absolutely enthralled, because I'll be here yelling next to my man Caleb and shouting out Nation's Finest for giving us this amazing opportunity. If you want to give them some support, you already know where to go see them, nationsfinest.org or nationsfinest.kindful.com. But that's besides the point. We're already 1 minute and 30 seconds through this game between Brigade and Short Circuit, and we haven't seen anybody get to take a meaningful shot. There hasn't really been any time where either team's been pressed yet, so I'd love to see who gets that first opportunity. It might be the last opportunity at this pace.
Who knows? Given how intense things have been thus far, this is clearly a match that is going to skew a little bit more towards, you know what? Let me stop. Because what I was going to say was clearly this is going to be a little bit more like low point totaling game. But I know the minute I say that, they're going to start
Aviator
scoring.
goes in.
Aha! Aha! You didn't give me that time. Nice try. Nice try. You almost had me.
Man,
if I had gone through and said it, I would have been finishing up just about then. That Aviator would have shut me up, but not this time.
If there's a telling tale of this entire experience, you could say it is you. You've been the one to call everything, Caleb.
But in reverse.
Yeah.
I'll say something and then the exact opposite will happen. Of like.
Right, and then Short Circuit Gaming, like, let's give them a 9-0 experience now so they can see what they did to the other teams. Do you think that if we had escape velocity inside of this bracket, things might be different?
Absolutely. I think the energy between the teams that we were looking at the final match would definitely be different depending on the teams we had. That, I think, would have lended itself to a bit more high-scoring games because of the sheer aggression that escape velocity brought to the table. It wouldn't necessarily been any more an intense game, but it certainly would have had more numbers on the board, I believe.
Right, and I'm really happy to see that Short Circuit Gaming and Brigade are at this point now. There's 2 minutes, 18 seconds coming into this grand final. Short Circuit's got the lead. We've seen Good Neighbor, we've seen Swishy, we've seen Trizzy do stuff that's been able to get scores for them. But unfortunately right now, it's just not gonna happen. Too quick from Short Circuit Gaming. They're able to block off all of these advancing opportunities we've seen from Brigade.
Clobbered mid-air, Trizzle sent sailing. He works on the defense, Sway circling around to get themselves in position to come through and fire out. Instead, he's going to come up and just try to get things set up, doing some mid-air work, coming away from the wall once again, utilizing that skill set that we have seen on such a high-profile display over the course of the tournament.
Sway's able to sway that back in their favor and get it cleared out, but it looks like Trizzle and Swishy are going to be able to get that at least hopefully cleared back to the Short Circuit Gaming side while this last minute and 20 seconds unravels. We're gonna need to see a bit more offensive pressure on the other side to bring us into an overtime or even a 2-1 situation where Brigade's able to take us into a Game 4.
Sliding around.
Oh, it looks really promising for Sway, but he gets a nice little pass forward from Good Neighbor, it looked like, inside of the net. Oh, he almost got a breakout there, but was able to get deflected from Solus.
Up top, trying to knock it through, but that's going to go a little bit sideways. We remain in neutral territory as a result. A lot of cross-court deflections here, but nothing that is lining anybody up for a shot. Aha, nice try. Almost got me again, but not quite.
Yeah, they're trying to test you. You're trying to test your curses and your blessings. But let's see if we can get anything made up in this next 30 seconds as it winds down for our friends over at Brigade. They really need to close this out in the next 25 seconds, at least get 1 point on the board.
Ooh.
Aviator's looking for it, but Aviator wasn't spinning. Aviator wasn't even trusting the shot.
That's the problem. If he's not rotating,
that's the
it doesn't have
telltale
the power.
side. You know, if he's hitting the pirouettes, he's feeling real confident about that positioning. Ooh, and a beautiful little shot downtown, but Solus is looking for it. It looks like Swishy's trying to find it in 5 seconds, but it gets cleared out. Trizzle's able to hit the back swing on it, but it's gonna hit the ground. Not yet. Not yet.
Wait, don't tell me.
Not yet.
Don't tell me. I swear to God, if it happens.
It's happening.
I swear if it happens.
It's happening.
We still haven't hit the ground, but that's...
It's over.
Ah, there it goes.
Soulless is able to keep it out of touch, and we're able to get a victory from our friends at Short Circuit Gaming. Brigade showed the most promise against anybody that was doing something as offensively aggressive as our friends at Short Circuit Gaming, but nonetheless, they're unable to catch up. That aggression proves too strong, and here we go with the Short Circuit Gaming as the victors of that grand finals matchup.
Oh my God, they've done it. They have earned themselves, and this is worth repeating, $450 in gift cards from
absolutely.
Nation's Finest.
Yes, and the Level Up Veterans Cut, man. It's so special for that, man. I'm super excited for those guys to get to divvy that up and enjoy whatever fruits come from those gift cards. It's gonna be super amazing.
It's gonna be some expensive fruit. Certainly. It's gonna be some wild stuff. Speaking of wild stuff, we have our highlights from our grand finals, the highlight of our tournament, of course.
Please
to
lead
look
us
back
off
on
with this texture, man, because it started off as a banger.
Absolutely, it did. We kicked things off to a great start. This has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, but again, we're not just talking about coming through a Short Circuit Game and getting this incredible win.
Right.
But we're also talking about Brigade, who managed to do a lot of work to get here, managed to show off an incredible amount of talent, and are not walking away with money that is bad by any means.
No way.
By any means. That 225, if I'm not mistaken, is going to go down very smooth.
Absolutely, and they were able to grab that second place, and then as well as our friends at Escape Velocity, they're able to snag third place. They were unable to compete for that grand final prize, but I'm so happy to see them walking away with something because they did a great job. But Short Circuit Gaming, you see how they were able to do what they did. They secured first fashionably. Aviator did the amazing aerial dancing that we got to be witness to. Soulless with some amazing passes. And we can't go without mentioning Swishy, Good Neighbor, and Trizzle. They did an amazing job, but that onslaught of pressure just proved too strong, and we're happy to see our friends at Short Circuit Gaming walking away with that win.
It was incredible to watch in action. It would be incredible if we had just gathered here today to watch some Rocket League, and we just decided to chill out, blow out our vocal cords, and have ourselves a good time. But with all that said and done, with some incredible prizes dished out to our competitors, and with a wonderful time had by all, certainly I enjoyed it quite a bit, it is also so important to remember that once again, this is all brought to you by Nation's Finest, who have helped 7,000 veterans over 50 years so far, and again are prepared to do so for another 50 years, but they need your support to do it. So once again, please, if you're interested in helping out veterans there with everything from housing to employment assistance to substance abuse counseling and so many more wonderful services that can help out our veterans in need, then you can go to nationsfinest.org or to nationsfinest.kindful.com and find ways you can donate, ways you can volunteer. There are locations all across various different places. There's so many people you could potentially be a huge, pivotal help for out there. Please do show your support any way you can.
Right, thank you so much to Nation's Finest. Thank you so much for everybody that has been a part of the broadcast today. Shout out to the people that were spectating the games and giving us so many amazing moments to really be on the edge of our seats about. I was so thankful for my friend Caleb Browner here, man. Thank you so much, as well as HyperX Esports Arena. It's been such a treat to be here with today under the guide of Nation's Finest. So thank you all so much for coming out.
And thank you, Austin Champ, for joining me for this. It's been a wild ride, and like I said, thank you all for joining us. This has been our fantastic tournament. This has been the Veterans Cup, and that may be all we have for you today. But again, remember, support, show your love for the Nation's Finest, and have yourselves a wonderful day.